USA presents the National Football League. Today, from Veterans Stadium, it's the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Brought to you by Budweiser, proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you. By Mitsubishi Motors, who invites you to come see the full line of cars and trucks. Mitsubishi, suddenly the obvious choice. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler.
On a perfect football afternoon at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, game time temperature about 73 degrees as two of the most prolific offensive teams in the National Football League will lock heads here this afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kevin Slayton, along with former Cincinnati Bengal guard Dave Lapham. And Dave, we talk about these offensive units. Somebody's defense is going to have to play well.
That's exactly right, Kevin. And the Philadelphia Eagles, they have a reputation in the National Football League as having a playoff caliber defense. Cincinnati Bengals, on the other hand, a much maligned defense. They're out to prove this afternoon that they're capable of handling a very good offense that Buddy Ryan has put together, which has a multitude of weapons. Randall Cunningham, Mike Quick, and right on down the line. So the Bengal defense is on the hot seat this afternoon.
Sam Weich, on the other hand, he knows what the hot seat feels like, but he got a big opening day victory last week, spurred by 2 goal line stands. So their defense, even though it bent a lot, when it came right down to it, Dave, they played very well in the clutch.
That's exactly right, Kevin, and that's a situation that the Bengals had problems with in the past. Not only bent, but gave up a lot of points. Last weekend, of course, only giving up 14 points to the Cardinals, and as you say, the effort was really highlighted by 2 goal line stands. If you get 2 goal line stands in one season, it's good. They get it in one game.
You saw Dean Dorsey ready to kick it off. There is Stanford Jennings. He is the center fielder in the triumvirate of backs that the Bengals have back there. Ickey Woods is to the bottom of the screen and to his right. And at the top is Barney Bussey. There is Jennings. And he's getting set to receive the kickoff from Dorsey, the kicker that the Eagles got from Ottawa up in the Canadian League.
Opening kickoff to get this second game of the campaign underway. So Dorsey advances on the ball. It's a high kick, and it'll be very short. And it'll be taken and dropped and fumbled out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Bussey was over there along with Jim Riggs at tight end. And I could just about hear Bussey yelling, I have it, I have it. Riggs tried to grab it and lost it. And it rolled out of bounds at the 18, and that is where the Bengals will be starting. Boomer Esiason is the quarterback. We'll have James Brooks, Stanley Wilson in the backfield. Eddie Brown, Tim McGee are the wide receivers. Anthony Munoz and Joe Walter are the tackles. Bruce Reimers and Max Montoya at the guards. Bruce Kozerski at center. And Rod Holman, the tight end. I see that looks like Michael Martin is opening at a wide receiving spot over on this side. The Bengals going with 2 tight ends. Eric Caddis is the other. He comes in motion over the near side. The handoff to Brooks around the left side. He will get to just about the 20 as he cuts in and is dropped right there at about the 20-yard line. There are 3 or 4 Eagles that got there in a hurry. Mike Pitts, left tackle, one of those in on the stop. A 2-yard gain at the 20-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I think we're going to find the Bengals simplifying their game plan a little bit this week, Phil, especially on offense. A lot of defensive fronts by the Eagles causes some confusion. They want to go in very basic today.
Now McGee's right side. The left side is Eddie Brown, who had a big day, 6 catches for 143 yards last week. The Eagles, of course, play a 4-man line. 2nd week in a row, the Bengals have looked at that. Esiason is going to go back and throw, and he's going to be nailed. Right away, Jerome Brown got him no sooner, and Boomer turned around back at about the 11-yard line. And Jerome Brown, who is their right tackle, be coming through the Bengals' left side, probably around Bruce Reimers if the blocking schemes were straight up, and nailed him way back near the 10-yard line.
And right away, the Bengals go into their hurry-up offense, and they want to keep the nickel off the field as much as they can this afternoon.
Pitches it out to Stanley Wilson, and Wilson is met by a horde of Eagles as he gets to the 15-yard line for a gain of about 5 yards. Andre Waters up from the safety spot. So the Bengals wind up losing about 3 yards on their first series, and that will send Scott Fulhag into punt.
And we've got an injured Eagle down on the field there, Phil.
Yeah. The trainer players come out from the near side of the field out to take a look at him. He probably got hurt by one of his own men because there were about 6 of them in there on that tackle of Stanley Wilson.
The Bengals' strategy this afternoon is going to that nickel defense or the hurry-up offense on 3rd down to keep the nickel off the field.
So we have time out in the field. We've just started. No score on the Cincinnati Bengals radio network.
There is a look at the man who was 3rd in the AFC in punting in 1987, averaging just over 42 yards a kick. Mark Konechny is back at about his own 40-yard line. An end-over-end low kick. Konechny will return this from midfield. Eagles will get great field position. He's inside the 40 down to the 37.
The Eagles' emotion is at a fever pitch right now. Buddy Ryan's got this club ready to play football.
35-yard punt and a 14-yard return by Konechny, a guy that the Eagles picked up on waivers from the Jets. So Randall Cunningham and his offensive unit will be in great shape as they open the game at the Bengal 37-yard line. The real question mark for the Eagles has been the running game, and we'll see if they start out with that. The quick toss comes back. Big running room this time inside the 35 as Anthony Toney breaks it back.
Philadelphia Eagles want to establish that running attack.
Mentioned Cunningham leading the offense. The big play guy is Mike Quick.
Mike Quick gets deep on a regular basis. 5-time Pro Bowler. Last 5 years been in the Pro Bowl. The captain of the team.
And up front, the big story, Dave Remington, released by the Bengals because he couldn't pass his physical.
Big matchup with Tim Crumry, the Bengal nose tackle.
2nd and 6 after Toney picked up 4. They'll run it again. This time Byers through a hole on the left side. He's drilled down as he gets inside the 30. Carl Zander, number 91, was there, along with Skip McClendon, the left end, number 72. And they both look quick in their first steps that time, Dave.
Certainly do, and really the Eagles are getting the better of it at the line of scrimmage here early, and the Eagle coaching staff has to be extremely happy. The Bengal defense gave up over 5 yards a pop last week to the Cardinals. The Eagles wanted to establish that running attack. They sputtered last week against the Buccaneers, and they want to get on track here for that running game.
It's going to be 3rd and 2. We welcome those viewers who are watching the Buffalo-Miami game. Welcome to Veterans Stadium. 3rd and 2. Toney has a first down and more as he gets inside the 25. Jim Scow, number 70, the right defensive end, was the first to knock him off balance, but he picked up good yardage down to the 24. You mentioned Crumry. He and Remington, no love lost there, is there, Dave?
No, there really is, and they really want to prove who's the better football player this afternoon. Tim Crumry is the only defensive lineman to lead his team in tackles. Carl Zander, Joe Kelly, just a solid group. Reggie Williams, a 13-year veteran. David Fulcher, biggest strong safety in the National Football League, like a linebacker. Excellent football player.
Cunningham is yet to throw a pass. The draw is to Byers. Big hole over the right side. He's still moving inside the 20. He is a load to bring down. Leon White, number 51, was the first to grab him. He got help from Solomon Wilcots out of the secondary. But, Dave, I believe you may have been able to get through that hole.
It has to be a wide one, Kevin, for me to get through, but it was. Nice execution. Just a little sucker play on Skip McClendon. Block thrown very effectively in there by Toney. Takes 3 players, 3 Bengal defenders to bring Keith Byers down. And here's a gentleman that played his high school and collegiate football in the state of Ohio. He wants to perform well against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Byers and Toney last week combined for a total of 28 yards on the ground. Today, in just 4 plays, they had 20. And they're on the move inside the Bengals 20 with a 2nd and 4. Cunningham's first pass of the day. Down the middle, he's got his big tight end inside the 10. Jackson's hard to bring down as he gets to the 5. And we'll see where they spot his progress. They're going to move it back to the 10-yard line. But the big rookie from Oklahoma makes his presence felt in a hurry.
He's a tremendous talent. This guy's 250 pounds, runs a 4.5 40. Cunningham, tremendous separation. Nobody around. Keith Jackson shucks the first tackle. Again, takes 4 or 5 Bengal defenders to bring this. He looked like a runaway freight train on that play. The Eagles are definitely fired up, and Jackson's leading the pack right now.
He caught 2 a week ago, 1 for a touchdown. It's a first down as the nose of the ball is right on the 10. I don't believe they can get a first down without scoring, but we'll see. Toney over the left side, cuts inside the 5, touchdown!
right now, Kevin. They wanted to shut down Philadelphia's running attack, thereby making Randall Cunningham beat them. But right now, the entire offensive game plan is wide open to the Philadelphia Eagles because they're running the football effectively. They still haven't had to tap the resource of Randall Cunningham.
They threw just one pass in that touchdown drive. They had the great field position at the 37, and Dorsey's on. He kicked 147 points after in a row in the Canadian League. He's 3 for 3 this year. Or I should say 6 for 6 this year, as he kicked 5 of them last week. So the Eagles quickly, on their first possession of the game, march 37 yards to a touchdown. Tony gets it, and they go out in front 7-0 with 9:47 remaining in the first quarter.
They really did it by controlling the line of scrimmage and the running game. They averaged over, I think, close to 5 yards a pop. Randall Cunningham just a quick dive to Tony. Tremendous haul. Block missed inside, makes a great cut inside on number 41, Solomon Wilcots, and nobody touches him. David Fulcher's the first to touch him, 2 yards into the end zone. Just a nice move, cuts back against number 41, Wilcots once again, spins into the end zone, no problem. It's easy in the NFL, he says.
Dave, Buddy Ryan was telling us yesterday how disgusted he was with his running game and that he felt like he is alibied for Tony and Byers long enough, and he was tired of it. And the offensive line was hanging their heads. But his message gets through, and we're talking to a longtime Eagle great Tom Brookshire, and he said that Buddy Ryan likes to back his players into a corner, and they seem to respond when he does that. And I'll tell you what, if that first drive's any indication, they've responded to what Buddy Ryan has been saying all week long.
They certainly have. Buddy Ryan, he speaks his mind, and he wants the players to do the same. Very colorful character. In fairness to the Bengal defense, tremendous field position afforded to the Eagles, starting out on the Bengal 40-yard line, backs to the wall at that point.
This time Dorsey gets his full leg into it. Bussey at the 1. Bussey in trouble and tripped up as he crosses the 15-yard line. And it appeared as though Izell Jenkins, number 46, was the first one down there. Some of the scores from around the league. What a great game in Washington. Would the defending Super Bowl champs dare lose their first 2? Looks like a battle of field goals in that Buffalo game. New Orleans and Atlanta have an offensive seesaw, and a big one in Indianapolis, won by the Bears to go 2-0. Some of the games just starting. The Raiders, Jay Schrader not starting at quarterback, we were told earlier, but they have the lead over Houston, who's playing without Warren Moon. Our game is 7-0 Eagles. They took their first possession and pounded it 37 yards into the end zone, and they lead the Bengals here 7-0. Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham. Bengals start. Flags go down as Brooks spins his way for maybe a loss of a yard, but I believe the Eagles jump.
I agree with you, Kevin, and a good play by Boomer Esiason, and what he did is he knows the Eagles are up in the bit, so to speak. They're ready to come off the football. Little voice inflection, non-rhythmic snap count, caught the Eagles jumping into the neutral zone.
Bob McElway, our referee, giving you the signal.
Offside, 96, defense, first down.
So it'll be 1st and 5, and the way the Eagles played defense on that first series, we talked about the great field position that the Eagle offense had. It was set up, Dave, because of that defensive stand.
Defense was just awesome, and they're still jacked up, ready to play football, and I think it showed by them being a little bit over-anxious on the first snap.
Jerome Brown had a sack in that first possession. Reggie White, who was shaken up, is back out there. Long count from Boomer. He'll throw it on first down. He's harassed. Down the middle he goes, and he hits his man McGee. He's got some room. His speed is great. Only one man to beat, and he's going to score. A touchdown for the Bengals.
Unbelievable speed shown by Tim McGee. 78 yards he took that one. Almost a coast-to-coast play. Reggie White afforded the initial pressure. Boomer Esiason, undaunted on his blind side, stepped up in the pocket, delivered a nice pass to Tim McGee, and it was Katie Barr. You see Boomer step up. Reggie White, number 92 in the white, is thrown to the ground. Tim McGee makes a nice catch, cuts it upfield, and boy, he takes an angle to that python down in the right corner of the end zone. Nobody's going to catch him. He ducks inside the orange marker. Boom. Touchdown. The big play capabilities of the Cincinnati Bengal offense in evidence there.
And McGee with that great speed, his first touchdown of the season, and Jim Breach comes on to try to add the conversion. Led the AFC in scoring last year. Was 3 for 3 last week, and we're all tied at 7. Well, a lot of people said there might be a lot of points produced today. And thus far, with 8:55 left in the first quarter, Sam White likes what he just saw, that explosive nature of his offensive unit.
Once again, Boomer Esiason did a nice job of stepping up in the pocket, and the pressure came from his blind side. Watch number 92 in the white. He makes an arm rip on Joe Walter, and Boomer Esiason just steps up undaunted, steps toward the line of scrimmage and fires the football. And he says, "Hey, Tim, catch it and do the rest from here." And it resulted in a 78-yard play. Boomer Esiason, of course, leads the National Football League in quarterback efficiency with a rating of 122.4 coming into today's game. And Kev, to put that in perspective, Kosar led the AFC last year with a rating of like 95. So that's tremendous numbers.
Tim McGee, who probably wouldn't be starting except for the injury to Chris Collinsworth, certainly lets everybody in Cincinnati know that he's out there and he deserves the chance.
And the Bengal coaches have made absolutely no changes in their offensive air attack with the absence of Chris Collinsworth. Tremendous confidence in Tim McGee, and he lived up to that billing on that particular play, showed great speed.
He caught just 2 passes a week ago in the victory over the Cardinals. Konechny drops deep for the Eagles, along with Sean Beals. As Breach tees it up and gets set to kick it off. So after a very disappointing opening set of downs for the Bengals, they strike quickly. And Konechny to the top of your screen, Beals to the bottom. Breach's kick is a high end-over-end job, and Konechny waits at the 8. He crosses the 25 where he's met and dropped. Jim Riggs, the tight end, good special teams player, number 87 for the Bengals, down there first to greet him. So Randall Cunningham, who took his offense into the end zone on their only possession thus far, will get another chance, but this time the field position a little bit different. He started out at the Bengal 37 the first time. This time he's penned in at his own 25.
And I think a little bit of the emotion, the edge of the emotion is worn off a little bit. Now into just the actual rhythm of the football game with the being tied.
They threw just 1 pass in that opening drive. That went to the tight end, Keith Jackson. Here's Tony. This time Jim Scow reaching quickly. Scow did a nice job of fighting off the block of Ron Heller, or of Matt Darwin.
Jim Scow, a smallish defensive end, about 245 pounds. And really, you've got some linebackers weighing that amount, but he's got tremendous explosion and great strength, unbelievable strength in that 245-pound body. But his big thing is he explodes on the offensive tackles, the bigger people, before they can get started.
That's the first time the Eagles have rushed the ball today for less than 4 yards. The quick toss is to Byers. He waits for quick drop. He picks that up and is very close to a first down. And may indeed have it as he crossed the 35. Eric Thomas, the cornerback number 22, came up to shove him out, but Mike Quick made a nice block on the corner.
Mike Quick can do it all. Pro Bowl wide receiver. Keith Byers, unbelievably, had the 5th metatarsal bone broken on both his right and left foot. Seems to have mended very well. They say he's running a 4.5 40 once again, which is awesome for a guy of his stature.
You know, it's incredible. And Chris Carter had the same bone broken in his foot. Both of those players went to Ohio State.
Must be something in the water up there, I guess.
Short yardage. Cunningham keeps it himself, and that's an unorthodox quarterback sneak. He gains about 5 on it and picks up the first down.
Randall Cunningham, just a tremendous weapon. Of course, led the Eagles in rushing last year with 505 yards. He takes a snap, just finds a soft crease, seam in the Bengal defense. Boy, just a tremendous line surge, because the fact is that Randall Cunningham wasn't even hit till he was 4 yards downfield.
That time in that battle, Dave, that you told us to watch, right. Remington laid Crumry on his back.
That you have to chalk one up for Dave Remington on that play.
Remington did not pass the Bengals physical. When he came over to Philadelphia, where Buddy Ryan said, "I give the physical," and you could bet he passed. Cunningham sets up the screen to Tony. He's got some people in front. Tony to midfield into Cincinnati territory before he's wrestled down. Solomon Wilcox is the man back to save the touchdown.
And once again, did you see the person who hustled down to make the tackle on the play? Watch the nose tackle, number 69, Tim Crumry. Cunningham drops back to pass, sets up the screen perfectly. Watch 69 as he appears on your screen later. A lot of blockers downfield in front, and you think Tony's going to look at Crumry. Boom. He makes the first hit, and he was rushing the quarterback from the nose tackle position. That's why he's led the Bengals in tackles the last 3 seasons consecutively.
He's a blue-collar worker that was a 10th-round pick, and he says every time he goes out there to play, even if it's practice, he's out there to prove that he's not a 10th-round pick.
Tremendous heart and determination.
They picked up 11. Cunningham, a quick one out to Byers, but he's going nowhere this time. Good defensive coverage from Eric Thomas. They'll split Byers out like that.
That's the thing, Kevin. They've got tremendous versatility in their offensive attack. They can split Keith Jackson out and use him as a third receiver in a nickel package, and they can do the same thing with Keith Byers. Split him out there with his 4-5 speed, run a pass route. They don't have to make substitutions in their nickel.
You know, something about Byers, we've talked about how long it's taken him to get back in stride with those injuries. This is his third year. A lot of coaches may have given up on him at this point, but Buddy Ryan has stuck with him through the injuries. Same story for Cunningham, and these players, to a man, were telling us yesterday, they'd go to war for Buddy Ryan. Absolutely. A pickup of 2 on that quick pass to Byers, and on 2nd and 8, Cunningham to the air. No pressure. He overthrows Jackson. Wilcox was there covering number 41. But that play, Dave, looks like it'll be open all day long.
The Bengals came with a blitz, Reggie Williams, but it was picked up very effectively by the running back Keith Byers on that particular occasion. You're right, there are some seams to be exploited underneath in the short passing game, and Randall Cunningham can do the job. Keith Byers checking out here.
Greg Garrity, number 86, comes in to replace him in the Eagles lineup as they'll face a 3rd and 8. They were 2 for 2 in their touchdown drive as the Bengals substitute 6 defensive backs now. They figure that Cunningham's going to pass from that shotgun, and he will. Has the time for Garrity, overthrows him, and Thomas knocks him out of bounds just for the heck of it. That's called laying your calling card.
That's exactly right. Might as well just let him know that you're there, even though the ball was a non-catchable football. Randall Cunningham in the shotgun looks over the entire field, throws to his left. The ball sails on him a little bit, but good coverage was provided. So Eric Thomas said, just to let you know that I'm around, I'm going to hit you right in the between your shoulder blades.
Cunningham a little bit high on his throws thus far. A lot of times that's adrenaline. He's just overthrown. Telchik comes on to punt it away. Mike Martin is deep for the Bengals. Telchik kicks it very high but short. Martin's fair catch is at the 19, falls to the 20 where he juggles it. But he held on, and so Telchik would have liked to have done a better job than he did there. A 27-yard punt without a return. He kept it up there for about 5 seconds there. That Washington game still not a final. Big victory for the 49ers over the Giants, who had a short week to prepare for the Niners.
Miami's 0-2. Buffalo beating Miami.
Bears are 2-0 without Wilbur Marshall and without Otis Wilson playing defensive football for them, but they beat a good team today. Those are our early scores. Minnesota starting Tommy Kramer at quarterback today. First down for the Bengals from their own 20. It only took them 1 play to score last time. This time Stanley Wilson runs into a stone wall. Mike Pitts was there, number 74, but Reggie White was the first one that hit him. Some early scores just underway. Denver in the lead early. Seattle over the Chiefs. Detroit and the Rams are scoreless. Our score 7-7. Cambarello over on the Eagle bench. One of their fine offensive linemen, a little bit shaken up.
Like he get poked in the eye trying to locate a contact lens. Reggie White, thankfully for the Philadelphia Eagles, is okay and back on the football field. Just had the wind knocked out of him.
Boomer will roll to his right. Here comes Reggie White. He zings it for home, and he holds on and then drops it. Wes Hopkins jarred it loose. Oh, they're going to call it a fumble. And the Eagles have recovered it.
That's going to be I think we might take another look at that one, quite possibly. That might fall in the gray area ruling here, because I don't know if he had possession when he got both feet on the ground or not. But interestingly, we saw Boomer Esiason roll to Reggie White's side, I should say, which is an unusual tactic. Since he's a left-handed quarterback, you'd expect him to roll to his left. That time he rolled to his right.
I think they'll certainly take a look at this and win. Oh, they're not going to. Bob McElway says Eagles football.
I guess you see Reggie White, number 92, providing the pressure. Boomer Esiason rolled to his side. Rodney Holman juggles the football. It's questionable whether he had possession. Got both feet down on the ground. Official ruled that he had possession of the football and was stripped of it subsequently. It'd be interesting. Once again, Reggie White makes a read on Boomer Esiason, hits him right in the waist. That's going to make Boomer think twice about rolling to Reggie White's side.
Two guys who weren't with the Eagles last year combined on that play. Wes Hopkins made the hit. He missed the whole season with a knee injury. And then Todd Bell, whom Buddy Ryan brought over.
I think we're taking a look at this.
I think they are too. After his release from the Bears, made the recovery. And I think once they do get a look at it, they'll have to believe that he was still juggling. Never really did have possession with both feet on the ground.
Yeah, they're looking at the play. Little discussion going on right now. See, the thing is,
after further review by the replay official, the play stands. First down.
Tom Kelleher is the replay official. And his view was that it was indeed a catch. I'm sure Sam Weitz does not agree.
The angle that we had, Rodney Holman's back was, you couldn't see the football, couldn't see if he had possession. The referee obviously could see a lot clearer if Rodney Holman had both hands wrapped around the football or not.
Eagles with great field position again, this time at the Bengals 39. See if they try to run it down there. Cunningham keeps it himself. He may run it. He will. He's to the 30-yard line, has the first down, and tiptoes out of bounds. Joe Kelly and Leon White were over there to chase him out. What an additional advantage to have a guy with that capability, Dave.
It's incredible. Now he runs only when he has to. This is a design rollout, fake, and Randall Cunningham's on the flank right now. He reacts to the pressure. He decides at this point, I can gain almost a first down on my own, and he does so. Randall Cunningham initially, when he dropped back to pass, he would just look at the defensive lineman, find a seam, and run the football. Now he's only running when he has to. Pick up 9 yards on that, 9.5 yards actually.
On second and short, as he fires, right side has the first down. Crumway had him around the ankles, and he made the tackle. Buddy Ryan told us yesterday that Randall Cunningham is right now one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league, and in a year or two will be the #1 quarterback. That's a bold statement to make.
It certainly is. And if he can get Keith Byers and Tony untracked in that running game, it'll only expand upon the capabilities of Randall Cunningham. Because then if you're a defensive coordinator, what do you do, Kevin? Who do you stop? You have too many weapons out there.
Cunningham told me yesterday that when he first came into the league and they said read the defense, he said I read the defensive line to see how close they were.
Exactly.
Underneath, handoff to Tony. Big hole over the left side. Wilcox, number 41, from the secondary up there to stop him, combining with Eric Thomas, number 22. But another big gain on the ground for the Eagles.
Shotgun formation, just a little underneath handoff to Tony. Nice block thrown in there, and Tony just takes it downfield, spins for pretty close to 6 or 7 yards on a first down carry, which is tremendous positive yardage. Nice trap block thrown by right guard Reggie Singletary on that play to spring Tony.
Pickup of 6, it'll be 2nd and 4. The crowd reacting to the score that they posted, and we showed you a moment ago, the 49ers beating the Giants, because the Eagles would be 2-0 on top of their division with a win today after the Giants lost. Cunningham throwing a dangerous pass to Jackson. He's in deep trouble, and down he will go. Fulcher brought him down for a loss of about 6 or 7.
Play sniffed out very, very effectively by the Cincinnati Bengals. It was a design rollout by Randall Cunningham, and Reggie Williams was on a blitz, and Jim Scow, halfway through the play, they realized this was the look in the formation where Randall Cunningham throws back across field. They all stopped in their pursuit and ran back to the other sideline to get themselves around the football. Very heads-up play defensively.
Bengals substituting their nickel coverage as the Eagles bring in 3 wide receivers. Garrity heading in there along with Quick and Carter. Garrity 86 to the bottom of your screen. That was such a dangerous throw. Cunningham hung it up in the air, throwing it off his back foot across the field. On 3rd down and 12. He has the time. He has lots of running room. Cunningham heading for the first down marker. Slides forward at the 16-yard line. That'll break the back of the defense. They had everybody covered, and yet he picks up the first down.
Exactly right. They really didn't have anybody designated to take Randall Cunningham in that play. As Washington-Pittsburgh fans, we welcome you here to the action here at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Randall Cunningham takes the snap in his shotgun. He's looking over the secondary. He's saying everybody's covered, good coverage by the Bengals secondary. I'm going to take this for the first down. 4.6 speed, or better than 4.6 speed, takes it to the sideline. What the Bengals are going to have to do is put a man on Randall Cunningham when he runs the football.
Our score is 7-7. First down for the Eagles at the 16. Touchdown, Jackson!
First catch of his NFL career was a touchdown reception against Tampa Bay. He follows it up with one here against the Cincinnati Bengals. At this rate, he'll be pulling up some serious touchdown numbers. Randall Cunningham reacts with some exuberance as he takes it to the sideline. Right now, the Eagle offense, everything's going well for them. They're running the football effectively. Randall Cunningham's running the football effectively, as well as throwing the ball a little bit better now, Kevin. His release point's more consistent. He's not throwing those high passes.
Dean Dorsey on to add the point after. And he does, and the Eagles take a 14-7 lead over the Bengals. We still have 1:40 left in the first quarter here from Veterans Stadium. So we will come back to the Vet. It's sold out, and the fireworks are exploding. 14th straight game in which Randall Cunningham has thrown a touchdown pass.
And see what the running game sets up. Softens the seams between the linebackers and defensive backs. Keith Jackson just ran a little slight slant pattern. Cunningham put it right on the money, and he likes it. Double fist pump. That's a little bit of enthusiasm right there. He says, Keith, I'll be throwing that to you on a more regular basis, partner.
14-7, the Eagles lead. This kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beer. Dorsey on to boot it away. Jennings is deep for the Bengals. Dorsey's going to get a workout at this rate with 1:40 left in the first quarter. He kicks it high and short. Bussey on the far side at the 12. Cuts it back, gets across the 20 where he's smothered down at about the 22. Michael Haddock's number 26, William Frizzell, number 33, the first to greet him. So the Eagles have that 7-point lead because of great field position, and we'll return to the vet as the Bengals try to come back in a moment. Sold-out Veterans Stadium on a sun-kissed afternoon here in Philadelphia, and they like what they've seen of the Eagles thus far. Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham. Dave, you told me yesterday around the hotel you thought Buddy Ryan would come out and run the ball and prove that he could run it, and he's done it.
That was the only chink in his armor, his Achilles heel, so to speak, against Tampa Bay. And the Bengals gave up over 5 yards per rush by the Cardinals last weekend, so he wanted to try to establish his running game.
Bengals have it, first down at their own 21, trailing by 7. Boomer to the air. Here comes the pressure. He gets rid of it. Oh, in and out of the hands of Eddie Brown, and he would have had a long way to go had he been able to catch it. That same play, it seemed, Dave, that they scored on a 78-yard touchdown to Tim McGee earlier.
The Bengals are trying to attack the middle of the football field. Tim McGee's touchdown pass started at that point. This time, once again, Boomer Esiason sets up, throws down the middle. Eddie Brown gets behind the safety or cornerback Young on that play. Just can't hold on to the football. 9 out of 10 times Eddie Brown will catch that ball, and as you mentioned, a lot of territory for him if he did catch that football.
Tim McGee breaking across the middle of the field earlier in the first quarter, hung on and took it 78 yards for a touchdown. Other than that play, the Bengals offense has sputtered against this Eagle defensive unit. Quick one to Eddie Brown. He'll try to shake Roydell Young, and he does. First down, and he's up near the 40 before he's knocked out of bounds.
For all you young cornerbacks out there, what you have to do is you can't let Eddie Brown get between you and the sideline. Eddie Brown takes a quick little pass. He breaks to the sideline. Young has to keep Eddie Brown from the sideline, turn him back into his teammates. He had some support back inside from number 48, Wes Hopkins, but Young let Eddie Brown get to the sideline, and there's nobody else there. You have to turn him back inside to your defensive teammates.
He turned that little catch into a 20-yard gain. That's what he did a week ago. One of his best games of his young career. First down Bengals, they're at their own 41. Esiason will throw and has time. Down the middle, Holman is wide open inside the 30. Fumbles the ball, and I think Eddie Brown may have gotten it, but now he loses it, and the Eagles have it.
Second fumble for Rodney Holman after a pass reception. Once again, the Bengals attack the middle of the football field. A big play. Rodney Holman made the catch, but a good recovery by the Eagles put the hit on Rodney Holman. He could not hold on to the football. Turnover once again for the Bengals. Boomer Esiason steps up. Good protection once again down the middle of the field. Beats linebackers coverage on that play. That being Byron Evans. Hit sandwich. Actually, he loses control of the football trying to brace his fall going to the field, it looked like, rather than the initial contact. Everybody hit him around his legs. At that point, he lost control of the football.
Byron Evans was the grateful recipient after it knocked off the knee of Eddie Brown. So a big gainer is wasted by the Bengals. They have shown the capability, however, to make the big play offensively. And it's been down the middle where the Eagles have shown to be vulnerable.
Byron Evans, linebacker in man coverage, was toasted on that play by Rodney Holman.
Cunningham to the air on first down. He drills it outside and completes it to Mike Quick. Working against Lewis Billups, number 24, the Bengals perhaps their best man-to-man coverage guy.
You know, the Eagles were tied for the league lead in 1987 with 48 takeaways. And they've got 2 already this afternoon here in the first quarter. And Rodney Holman is the unfortunate donator of both of those turnovers, fumbling the football twice.
First down for the Eagles. Quick now, 49 straight games. He's caught a pass. Got a long way to go to set the record there. Cunningham, he sees the rush, gets himself 5 or 6 as he gets up to the 35. Scow came back, number 70, the third-year player out of Nebraska, to make the tackle.
Bengals came with a different defensive strategy that time. They blitzed their safety, David Fulcher, so they had a pressure line, and then Joe Kelly was the spy of sorts. He was the chase line. He was the spy man. As Randall Cunningham broke through the line of scrimmage, Joe Kelly was right there to make the tackle.
Well, gun has sounded in the first quarter. Exciting as it was, has come to an end here in Veterans Stadium with the Eagles on top of the Bengals, 14-7. Welcome back to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham, where the Eagles lead the Bengals 14-7, just underway in the second quarter. Second down and 6 for Philadelphia. Cunningham under pressure. Fulcher blitzing from the safety spot. And that's the first sack that the Eagles have given up all season long. Eddie Edwards, who had just come into the lineup, number 73, also met Fulcher at the quarterback.
That's right, Kevin. And last week, the Philadelphia Eagles did not give up a sack against Tampa Bay. And it was 41 games since they had Leon White and David Fulcher, 33, come. Absolutely no chance for Randall Cunningham. Smart move right there. Take the sack and reload on third down. Give yourself another opportunity. There was absolutely no place for him to go. You have to pressure him that way. Take away his flanks and up the middle. There were 3 or 4 people in his face that time.
He lost 7, third and 13. The Eagles from their own 28. Cunningham under pressure, screens it out to Byers, has 2 blockers out there. Byers cuts it back, is short of the first down as he's dropped at the 38-yard line. And he got some help from Jason Buck defensively for the Bengals, who got back there to make the tackle. Chip Lohmiller's field goal with 2 seconds left gave Washington a victory. But how about the 49ers? A 78-yard Montana to Rice touchdown pass with 42 seconds left won that game for the Niners. Bears beat the Colts. New Orleans held on to win. It'll be a long year for the Packers, it looks like, as they lose to the Bucs.
Not much talent up there for Lindy Infante up in Green Bay.
Cleveland hasn't scored a touchdown yet this year. On fourth down, Pelchick in to punt it away for the Eagles, and he nails it. He sends Martin back inside his 15, and right away he goes down in the hands of William Frizzell. Great special teams play from Frizzell, the 5th-year player out of North Carolina Central, a 48-yard punt. We'll be back to the Vets, sold out on a beautiful day. For more football in a moment.
Today's game is brought to you by Dodge Cars and Trucks. When it's got to be right, it's got to be a Dodge. By Coors Light, there's no slowing down with a silver bullet. It's the right beer now. And by the U.S. Armed Forces, it's a great place to start.
Back live at Veterans Stadium, Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham. Bengals and Eagles. Philadelphia leads 14-7. First down for Cincinnati. Wilson tries this side, goes the other way. No, sir. He's smothered back inside the 10-yard line. Great pursuit that time from Seth Joyner, number 59, but it was Clyde Simmons who hemmed him in on the corner.
Tremendous play by the entire defense. Everybody made their reads and stayed at home. Minus 7 yards on the play. Watch, Stanley Wilson will start the play off tackle left, but Simmons stuffs it, makes Stanley turn back to his right. Seth Joyner was in perfect position, did not overcommit, stayed at home, played his key. Nice play defensively.
Buddy Ryan told us yesterday this is a high compliment to Seth Joyner. He's the finest left side linebacker in the league. Right. That includes better than Otis Wilson when he coached in Chicago. Second and 17, Esiason, the shadow of his own goal line, flips it outside the corner, fumble, loose ball. It went out of bounds and belongs to Cincinnati. Eric Caddis fumbling, so the tight end position for Cincinnati has fumbled 3 times today. Holman twice, and now Caddis, and Boomer shaking his head.
Boomer a little bit upset with what's going on out there right now. The Bengals trying to go to their attack offense. They want to keep the Philadelphia Eagle nickel substitution package off the football field. The Bengals had final control, final possession. That's why they retained the football even though it went out of bounds. They were the last one to have possession of the football.
Third and 20, Seth Joyner up with his arms in the air, encouraging this Veterans Stadium crowd, and they're on their their feet on 3rd and 20.
Making it tough for the Bengals to hear Boomer Esiason's signal. He gives them a coded message that tells them to play in the formation. The crowd's making it tough.
Jerome Brown was in his face, and Caddis can't make the grab near the 20. So that means that Scott Fulhage is going to have to punt it from his own end zone. And it should guarantee, absent a mistake, the Eagles' excellent field position for the 3rd time in this game. And Sam Weiss does not like what he is seeing right now.
The 12th man came into play on that hurry-up attack. The fans would not let them communicate.
Partially blocked. Partially blocked. I believe it was Frizzell or Tatalatasi who got a hand on it. It'll roll dead inside the Bengal 30. Junior Tatalatasi, the man that Buddy Ryan simply calls Junior.
10-yard punt. And this was a Bengal problem last season. 9 punts blocked or deflected. Comes right up the middle. Just a great lunge. Look where he lunged for the football where it was going to be kicked from. He did not go for the punter's leg. Just a great effort. Look at him just lay out. Tremendous, tremendous effort on that play by Junior Tatalasasi.
12:33 left in the half. 14-7. The Eagles lead it. We'll be back in a moment. Buddy Ryan's been talking all week about improving the production from his running game, and the Eagles now start a possession for the 3rd time today inside the Bengals 40. They get it just inside the 30 after the partially blocked punt. A little bit of confusion. Cunningham able to beat the clock. He guns it outside to Quick, who ducks inside to the 21-yard line. Lewis Billups, again, number 24, working defensively against that guy, but he's in a different world, Quick is.
Quick told us yesterday, Kevin, that he feels once the ball is in the air, he's as fast as any receiver in the National Football League. And I firmly believe that. There's speed and there's football speed. Mike Quick has football speed.
He told us a funny story. He was elected captain by his teammates, and he went into Buddy Ryan. He said, now, does that mean I have some authority? And Buddy Ryan looked at him deadpan and said, yeah, you can call heads or tails in the coin toss.
Right, that's your contribution to decision-making.
2 catches today for Quick. There goes Tony over the left side. He's finally run down. Carl Zander, number 91, made the tackle along with Crumry, but that gives the Eagles another 1st down. And Dave, you have to talk about what you mentioned at the top of the telecast. The ability of the Eagles to run the ball today has been the difference.
That's right. They looked at the game film of the Bengals defense and realized that the Cardinals ran the ball extremely effectively, and they wanted to try to do the same thing.
We checked the rest of the scores around the league that we've touched on a little bit. The Bears opening impressively and go 2-0. Another battle of field goals in Cleveland.
Denver rolling it up.
1st down, Eagles. They'll run it again with Byers in his own backfield. Sheds 1 tackle. Now is knocked down by Zander as he tried to get outside. It appears as though it was Leon White who got into the backfield, but Byers was able to get away.
You're exactly right. Leon White had an opportunity to throw Byers for about a 5-yard loss, but Keith Byers, he's a physical specimen. This guy is like a linebacker running back there at the tailback position. He's built more like a fullback, and he just shucked Leon White.
I'll never forget the great game he had in his junior season at Ohio State when he was trailing Illinois 24-0 and single-handedly led the Buckeyes back, returned a kickoff for a touchdown, scored 5 touchdowns in that game as Ohio State came from behind, the most one-sided deficit in Ohio State history where they had rallied for a victory. Cunningham doesn't like what he sees, and he was a little bit confused to play earlier. This time he calls a timeout.
Well, it's better to do that, Randall Cunningham, than to waste an effort and to run a play that is just not well schooled for that particular defensive configuration. They'll talk it over, see what they come up with when we come back.
Sam Weiss in his 5th year as the head coach at Cincinnati, trailing 14-7 to the Eagles. 2nd down and 10. Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham. 10.5 minutes remaining in the 1st half. Cunningham to the air, plenty of time down the middle to Tony. He ducks inside the 10. White had a hold of him. He got all the way to the 6 or 7, and he has a 1st down. Joe Kelly, number 58, came over to help out. But it's 1st and goal, Philadelphia.
Once again, a nice, safe, short pass. Randall Cunningham drops back. Look at the separation. Nobody in his face. He has 5-yard separation when he delivers that football, and Tony has plenty of room to run. Leon White and Joe Kelly converge. It's a little bit too late. We've got a 1st and goal situation. Randall Cunningham now 9 out of 11 on the day, 72 yards, including that touchdown pass.
And the 2 that are incomplete, Dave, he simply overthrew his receivers.
Exactly. A little bit pumped up, as you mentioned. I think a little bit inconsistent release point, and he can fire that play.
First and goal for the Eagles. Tony in trouble. Zander has him, and he almost had the handoff. See if the Eagles have the killer instinct.
You're exactly right, Kevin. I think Carl Zander was going for the football in that play. He got there at the exact time of the point of the handoff. Randall Cunningham, look at Carl Zander. He decides, I'm going to go after the football right now, see if I can take it out of Tony's hands. But it's nice loss on the play from the Cincinnati Bengal defensive vantage point. Second and goal from the 10.
They'll throw it back to the 10. 5 of 6 times the Eagles scored inside Tampa's 20 last week, but twice they were inside the 10 and had to set up a field goal. So let's see if that ugly monster rears its head again here. Cunningham on a rollout. Oh, nearly picked off. It is by Wilcox. He made a great defensive play. He smelled it, zipped across the field, tipped it up, and had the presence of mind to hang on. His first interception this year.
Tremendous play. He actually performed a tip drill to himself. A lot of times defensive backs will work on a tip drill. Once the ball is airborne, close on it. Solomon Wilcox, number 41 in the black. Randall Cunningham rolls to his left. Wilcox is spying him, looking right at him, not in a coverage responsibility. Tips the ball up in the air and goes after it like a volleyball player. On that play, if Randall Cunningham had run the football, Solomon Wilcox was the spy to tackle him.
First turnover against the Eagles today, and it couldn't have come at a better time for the Bengals. Well, we mentioned that they had failed to score a touchdown twice inside Tampa's 10, but at least they got field goals a week ago. This time they come up empty. Esiason into the air, down the middle to Holman. He's got it. This time he holds on at the 36-yard line. Andre Waters really laid the lumber to him. Holman, who has fumbled twice, Dave, has to feel a little better about that 23-yard gain.
You're exactly right. He clamped both arms around that football that time. As soon as he had possession, he put a double arm lock on that football. And the Bengals are consistently attacking the middle of the defense. Boomer Esiason right down the middle once again. Over linebackers in front of safeties. Boom. Rodney Holman's right there. Once again, beaten on the play down the middle of the field was Byron Evans from his middle linebacker position. Nice touch by Boomer Esiason. Over the linebacker in front of the safety.
He's beaten Evans each time down the middle of the field. Caddis in motion. They'll run it with Wilson. Not much room again. Mike Pitts, number 74, on top of the pile. Jerome Brown, number 99, at the bottom.
James Brooks has not appeared in the Bengal offense, really, from a vantage point of featuring him whatsoever. I'm wondering if he's a little bit touched up physically, or if it's just that the Eagle defense is just taking him out of the football game. One thing Buddy Ryan does defensively, he takes one player, whether it be Boomer Esiason or James Brooks, and will take him out of the game and say, beat us with your other people. It looks like he's taking James Brooks out of this game by formation.
Now they have 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen. In the middle of that triumvirate is Brooks on 2nd and 7. Brooks in motion. They're going to give it to him. Try to get him the ball that way. He's got a lead blocker out in front. Cuts it upfield and is close to the first down, and in fact it appears that he has it. Well, Dave, just as you mentioned it, Sam White devises a scheme to get him the football.
Right, and notice what he had to do. Instead of putting him in the backfield, put him out flanked wide of his wide receiver. Brought him in motion to get him the football. Here's James Brooks, number 21, takes the handoff. Max Montoya, 65 for the Bengals, out in front. Throws a block at the defensive back's feet to spring James Brooks for first down yardage.
Brooks knew exactly where he had to go to get the first down, and he did it. Had that great season 2 years ago, then had an injured ankle last year, and I'll tell you what, that's the story of the game that you touched on earlier, Dave. Certainly is. First down for the Bengals. That was their longest running play of the day. And in fact, they would still be in the minus column without it. He guns it out complete to Holman again, this time to the outside. Holman has been open no matter where he's gone. Andre Waters, number 20, was there defending.
Once again, working on the safeties. Rodney Holman split out a little bit wide than his normal formation situation. Just runs a little out pattern. Never really recovers very well on the play. That's number 20, Andre Waters, strong safety for the Eagles. And the Bengals are going after the Eagles safeties in their passing game. A lot of respect for the Eagle cornerbacks, but they're really going after those safeties.
We mentioned Cunningham was 9 of 11. Esiason is 8 of 10, 178 yards and a touchdown. And he's had 2 balls that were fumbled after they were caught. Stanley Wilson, the right side. Jerome Brown misses. No, he gets knocked 5 yards backwards. And then the Eagles combine to keep him right there. I don't know who made that hit out of the secondary, Dave, but I'm glad it was on Wilson and not me.
Boy, I hear that. That was a human pinball tendency right there. Stanley Wilson, he impressed the heck out of me, the fact that he stayed on his feet. Watch this hit. He cuts up to the inside, playing off the block of Rodney Holman, and he just gets peppered from the side. But here's the hit by Hopkins. Boom! And Stanley Wilson just staggers back, but he stays on his feet. Takes a direct blow like that, never goes to the ground. Tremendous hit by Wes Hopkins, who's back after 2 years of rehab on that knee.
Great dedication from Wes Hopkins. He hit him right on the ball, too, and Wilson was able to hold that.
Great concentration.
2nd and 7 for the Bengals at the Eagle 38. As they try to tie this ball game up. Esiason has time and overthrows McGee, and the rookie Eric Allen lets him know that he's around. But Buddy Ryan is so high on Eric Allen. He was telling us his rookie cornerback plays with the moxie of a 20-year veteran.
Boomer gets plenty of separation from the line of scrimmage. No pressure in his face. Just throws the ball high. Just a bad release point. Let that ball sail on him a little bit. That was a potential completion. Really, Allen was there, though, for nice coverage.
Bengals go without the huddle. They haven't converted a 3rd down situation yet, and they face 3rd and 7. They have 2 tight ends in there. One of them, Jim Riggs, number 87, is in the backfield. As Boomer Esiason operates out of the shotgun. Flags are down. He guns it outside, off the hands of Eddie Brown, and that's twice we've seen Eddie Brown with catchable balls not pull them down, but it would appear that the Eagles may have jumped the count.
I'm not sure if the Eagles jumped or if they were pulled offside by a Bengal moving. It looked like the Bengals had a legal procedure to influence the Eagle defensive line and pull them offside. Somebody broke that stance or flinched in that 3-point stance a little bit early on the Bengal offensive line.
And you would guess that Reggie White would want to refuse this.
Illegal motion, 78 offense. Penalty is declined, 4th down.
Big Anthony Munoz committed the guilty infraction, and so that will force the Bengals to punt. And it will send Scott Fulhage back out there.
You know, it's not surprising that the Bengals passing attack is attacking the Eagles safeties. Buddy Ryan's philosophy is defensive line and cornerbacks play the pass, linebackers and safeties play the run. So they're attacking those safeties because they're conscious of the run side.
Last time, Fulhage's punt was partially blocked by Todd Latasi. This time he has a better amount of time, hangs it up high, kicks it to 1, takes a Bengal bounce, but they can't save it. Boy, I'll tell you, it looked as though Ira Hillary had a chance to kill it.
Ira Hillary could have batted the ball back onto the playing field, and instead of batting it back, he jumped up around the football, and really, instead of on the 1, it's on the 20. Unfortunate, Buddy Ryan likes it.
The color and the pageantry of NFL football on NBC here in the Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia as the Eagles lead the Bengals 14-7. 6:04 left in the first half. Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham, the former offensive lineman for the Bengals, as the Eagles start it from their own 20. And they'll run Byers. Cuts it back nicely and picks up 3 or 4 before he is brought down. Tim Crumry and Jason Buck were over there.
Once again, the Eagles still trying to stay with that running attack, and one thing that they feel that it does, it limits the opportunity that explosive Bengal offense has. The longer they can run the football, control the clock, it keeps Boomer and his offense off the field and lessens his opportunity for that explosive offense to take advantage of the Eagle defense.
Keith Byers had only 5 yards rushing on 9 carries last week. Today, unofficially, he has 21 yards on 6 carries. And he'll go again. This time he finds the running room very short. Gets to about the 25. Leon White, number 51, was the first to grasp him. And he got help from Skip McClendon, the left defensive end, number 72, the second-year man out of Arizona State. Eagles have pretty well controlled the ball today, and it's been because of the running game that Dave Lapham talked about since the kickoff.
And that's exactly to emphasize my point. The Bengals only on the football field for 7.5 minutes as opposed to the Eagles 14.5, less opportunity to score.
Just under 5 minutes and ticking as we approach halftime. Cunningham on 3rd and 4 will go out of the shotgun. They've converted 3 of 5. And Byers makes a one-handed grab, but Wilcox makes sure he doesn't get the first down. Randall Cunningham was telling me yesterday, Byers makes catches you don't expect running backs to make. Well, he made one there, but he wasn't able to turn upfield.
Yeah, that was a meeting of the 41s there, 41 in white, 41 in black. And Solomon Wilcox, the reason he won the free safety starting position with the Bengals is for that reason. A big hitter. They liken him to David Fulcher, a couple of headhunters back there at the safety position.
And a big play man. He got a big interception of a Cunningham pass at the Bengals 7-yard line while Philadelphia was trying to take a 2-touchdown lead. Selchuk on to punt it away. Mike Martin is deep for the Bengals. They're coming with an all-out rush. They didn't get there, and it's a low kick. Martin from his 40. He led the NFL in punt returns in 1984, and he gets to his 47, and that's the best field position the Bengals have had all day as Scott Curtis, number 91, got down there to get him. 32-yard punt. 3:57 left in the half. We'll return to Veterans Stadium for more football in a moment. Byron Evans is now on the Philadelphia sideline. He had been burned by Rodney Holman at that middle linebacker spot. And his replacement is Mike Reichenbach, number 55 in the Eagles linebacking corps, the fifth-year player out of East Stroudsburg State. Buddy Ryan does not wait long, Dave, does he?
No, he doesn't. And Rodney Holman has taken advantage of the middle of that Eagle pass defense, particularly burning the middle linebacker and settling down in front of the safety. He's got 4 catches for 82 yards, but unfortunately those 2 fumbles.
Buddy Ryan's not afraid to make decisions. You saw him there on the sideline. He said yesterday that he doesn't make popular decisions. He just makes the right ones.
Byron Evans doesn't think he made a popular one right there.
47-yard line, their own. That's where the Bengals begin this drive. Esiason rolling. Flips it out to Stanley Wilson. Has some room. Runs over Reichenbach, who just came into the game, and gets it down inside the Eagles' 40-yard line. Of course, a reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser MVP for today's game at the conclusion of the game.
Of course, here's Reichenbach, number 55, getting into the action right away. Stanley Wilson just ran him over. Reichenbach lowered that head, made the hit on Stanley Wilson. Stanley Wilson's thrilled to death. He's as healthy as he's ever been. Made it through a training camp for the first time in his career. Of course, back after 1 year suspension because of a drug abuse.
First down, the nose of the ball inside the Eagle 40. Wilson again. Kind of runs into his own offensive lineman, and then Clyde Simmons, number 96, just laid on him and made sure he couldn't go any further. You know, we talk about Reichenbach. He was the Eagles starter at middle linebacker till he suffered an injury to his ankle last season. So he's not somebody who is not used to playing out there.
Big hitter. He's known more for his skill against the running attack than he is against the passing attack. But of course, Evans was too, or is too, I should say. They're going to have to make an adjustment. I would imagine Buddy Ryan will make some sort of adjustment to firm up the middle of the field in that passing attack.
Jerome Brown is out of the Eagles' front 4, and in to replace him is Mike Dolis, number 90, on 2nd and 8. We'll try to get word from the Eagles bench as to what the problem is with Brown. Pitts giving some pressure. The quick flip is out to Holman, dances and gets away. Inside the 30, Roynell Young chases him down. I'll tell you something, for a big tight end, you got to like that kind of movement.
That's exactly right. Rodney Holman has great abilities to run with the football after the catch. Once again, Boomer Esiason steps up in the pocket and delivers it. Watch this, a little inside move. That's what you'd expect, and then freezes linebacker and bursts it to the outside. That's what you'd expect out of a 195-pound wide receiver, not a 245-pound tight end. He made a great move on Seth Joyner. Once again, Boomer delivering the football. Pressure right at his feet, but he stepped up away from that.
First down, Bengals at the Eagle 26. They're going for the tying touchdown. Here is Brooks. In trouble. Simmons did a great job to get him in his own backfield. Clyde Simmons, whom you don't hear too much about when you have the Reggie Whites and Jerome Browns in your lineup, makes a big defensive play. The Eagle coaches were telling us he had the best game last week.
That's right. The Eagle coaches say that he's graded out the best over the whole preseason of all the defensive linemen.
The Raiders opening up big today. They're going for 2-0. Seattle, the same story as they lead the Chiefs. Detroit would open up 2-0, I believe, with that victory, if they can hold on.
That's right.
But the Rams have a long way to go. 2nd and 12 after a loss of 2. Esiason to the air. Here comes the rush from Pitts. He's got Brooks. Brooks has a first down. He's inside the 10. He's still on his feet. Heads for the end zone. Touchdown!
Great job of tightrope in that sideline. Staying in bounds. Oh, look at that hit by Hopkins. A late hit. And James Brooks keeps his composure, walks off the field, and says, we'll take that 15-yard penalty on the ensuing kickoff. Boy, just a bad move by Hopkins there.
And I did not see what precipitated it. I would assume that the Eagles may have thought that Brooks had stepped out of bounds, but you wouldn't expect someone to get that hot over something like that.
I think situation, maybe Hopkins felt...
Personal foul, number 48 defense, after the touchdown, will be enforced on the kickoff.
It'll be a short kickoff for James Brooks after this touchdown. I think Wes Hopkins just lost his composure. Boomer Esiason rolling away from the pressure from Pitts, lays it out there for James Brooks. Watch how he tap dances this sideline. Makes a great play, boom, boom, keeps himself inbounds. Hopkins overcommits, and Brooks gives him a straight arm. Then he points at him. That's what precipitated the hit. He kind of taunted him a little bit. Hopkins lost his composure, though, totally. Came up and hit James Brooks with a double shot to the face mask. That's something that you just have to maintain your composure. He just hurt his team with that play.
From a veteran like Hopkins, you don't expect it as Breach comes on to try to tie this game up. And he does so. We're all knotted at 14. Now some more fisticuffs break out after the point after touchdown. And these two teams not showing a lot of love for each other out there in the city of brotherly love.
This is a typical Buddy Ryan team. They're very physical, and you're going to see a few more of these altercations throughout the course of the football game.
2:03 remaining in the first half. We're tied at 14. Back live at the vet, Kevin Slayton and Dave Lapham. James Brooks, you see him there, just tied this game up on a 28-yard touchdown reception from Boomer Esiason. Don McPherson, the quarterback that the Eagles chose out of Syracuse, not suiting up today.
Tells you something about James Brooks. The guy not only can hurt you running the football, he's a dangerous pass receiver. Boomer's already got 235 yards passing on the afternoon. Two touchdowns.
He's had a great day, and the Bengals were knocking on the door 2 other times when Rodney Holman fumbled the ball. Breach kicking off. He'll knock this one clear through the end zone after that 15-yard penalty, and he does. Konechny was back there only because you have to have a guy back there. He wasn't going to get near that one.
Breach was going for the uprights on that one. He was trying for about a 70-yard field goal attempt.
It's nice when you can tee it up at the 50 and let it fly. So that 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct against Wes Hopkins has been assessed, and the Eagles will start from their own 20 as we get the 2-minute warning. All tied up at 14. I'd like to take an opportunity. All of us at NBC, as well as the Eagles and Bengals, would like to pass along wishes for a speedy recovery to the Eagles' former great running back and Hall of Famer Steve Van Buren. He's in the hospital after suffering a stroke in August, so we wish him well and a quick recovery. Buddy Ryan, the familiar pose along the sidelines for the Eagles.
That's right. He kind of keeps a poker face on that sideline with the arms folded across his chest no matter what's happening out there. He will get emotional from time to time, though, as Todd Bell relayed a cute story to us yesterday. He said in the exhibition season, he was covering a tight end from the Detroit Lions and latched onto him, held a little bit, and Buddy was yelling his name out in the field. Todd, get over here. Bell came over to the sideline. He said, "You're too good to be doing that. You can run with that tight end. Let him go," and cuffed him on the head, sent him back out in the field. And there's Todd Bell, number 52, 212-pound outside linebacker, not fearful of playing against those big offensive tackles because, as Buddy Ryan says, Todd Bell is a hired killer.
He told us that yesterday when we asked him if he could stand up to the physical pounding at linebacker at that weight. And Buddy didn't hesitate. Todd Bell told us yesterday how grateful he was. He feels like his football career may have been over except for the saving grace of Buddy Ryan. Buddy doesn't forget those players that really perform for him.
Buddy has a flair for the sensational, doesn't he? I mean, everybody's the best in the league on his team.
He'll go up and down his lineup, and you'll think he has 22 All-Pros out there.
That's right.
First and 10 from the 20. Cunningham out of the shotgun as they go to the 2-minute offense. Like to get on the board and break the tie. Cunningham airing it out for Quick. He was covered nicely by Eric Thomas, who would not allow Mike Quick to get behind him. It looked like Quick hesitated in going for the ball and maybe thought Cunningham might underthrow because he was open short.
Randall Cunningham just threw his arms up in the air as he was glancing downfield at Mike Quick on that play, and maybe they were on a different page. Mike Quick put a couple of moves on his pass route that I think Randall Cunningham didn't expect.
Give you an idea of the arm strength of Cunningham. He just floated that ball 50 yards in the air effortlessly. Second and 10 for the Eagles. All day to throw. Great catch by Keith Jackson. Fulcher was all over him, but that big guy from Oklahoma, he can pull it down. You know, he averaged 24 yards a catch at Oklahoma. Dave, and I'm telling you something, what a great pick the Eagles made in the draft.
Here he is, split out a little bit wide from his tight end position, double eights, and the White takes it to the sideline. Just a tremendous catch, catches the back half of the football. Once again, Randall Cunningham showing tremendous arm strength. That's a test of an NFL quarterback. Throw a frozen rope out to the sideline like that.
They picked up 7. It's 3rd and 3. The officials stopping the clock.
I think they're taking a look at it to see if Jackson had both feet in bounds for possession on that reception.
Jackson has played 2 games in his professional career and caught a touchdown pass in each.
I think they're judging whether he had possession and both feet before he stepped out of bounds on the sideline. He has to tap with both. Here it is. Jackson won. He does not get the second foot down after possession. They may, but they decided to keep the call as stands.
Tom Kelleher, our replay official. 3rd down and 3 down the middle. Jackson has it, has the first down. That's the play that Cunningham has been confident in going to all day. Wilcox was there, 41, and he got some help from Jason Buck coming back to make the tackle also. Hurry up offense. They have a first down at their 37.
Here's where Randall Cunningham's so dangerous with that running ability.
Flags are down. There's Byers underneath. He's heading for the sidelines at midfield. He's still in bounds, and Fulcher knocks him out at the 34, and Byers lays Fulcher out.
There is the flag back at the 35-yard line. The Philadelphia Eagles may have an illegal motion against the Eagles will nullify that play, nullify that 30-yard gain. So in essence, a 30-yard gain becomes a 5-yard loss.
Byers and Fulcher still jawing at each other. That's 238 pounds of Byers, and Fulcher not much smaller at 228. I think he's bigger than 228.
I think
Illegal motion.
I agree.
Left side of the line. First down.
Those are the kind of plays that don't really show up on the stat sheet. Boom, there's a collision right there. David Fulcher and Keith Byers that you were talking about. And Byers got the best of that one. David Fulcher got up and said, come on, bring it again. I can take it.
Buddy Ryan loves that kind of play out of Byers. He could have stepped out of bounds, but he chose instead to lower the boom. 1st and 15 with that penalty against the Eagles. Low snap. The rush is coming. Scow is there to greet him. Scow and Jason Buck. Buck, the first-round pick a couple of years ago out of BYU, kind of the designated pass rusher for the Bengals, and that time he and Scow met at Cunningham.
And what they did was they had a person in his face and one at his flank. Nowhere to go, nowhere for him to step up into the pocket, and they collapsed the side of the pocket. Good pass rush by the Bengals.
Second Bengals sack. They want more. He guns it complete to Carter at the original line of scrimmage. And with the clock under a minute left, the Eagles take a timeout. That's the first time all day that Cunningham has thrown in the direction of Chris Carter. That one picks up 16 yards.
You know, unbelievably, even with Randall Cunningham at quarterback, the Eagles gave up 72 sacks last season, over 100 sacks the season before. So it's just unbelievable that they can't pass protect better for Randall Cunningham.
Back live at the vet, Kevin Slayton and Dave Lapham. Eagles facing 3rd and 9. You saw the story, tied at 14. Here's Byers heading for first down yardage. He may have it, he may be short. Bussey stopped him, but I think he got there. He did. Byers likes Brooks, Dave. So dangerous catching that football.
Exactly. Buddy Ryan is really high on his running backs. He said both Byers and Tony can run the football, block effectively, and catch out of the backfield. And he's been really disappointed, as you said, Kevin. He's tired of making alibis for his running backs, but the first half has to give Keith Byers a tremendous shot of confidence.
First down Eagles at their own 47. Another bad snap. Cunningham is making one-handed catches. There's Jackson, but a great defensive play that time from Eric Thomas, the second-year player out of Tulane. Prevented a big gainer for the Eagles. I'm somewhat hesitant about it, but I think they're going to have a bad snap get loose.
I think you're right. It's kind of a sporadic snap. It's not coming back on a frozen rope, but that was one delivered by Randall Cunningham. Great effort by Eric Thomas to reach around him, avoid contact, and knock that ball loose.
2nd and 10 for the Eagles. 43 seconds remaining in the half. They have just one timeout left. You recall earlier Cunningham took one when he wasn't sure of a defensive alignment. That time the snap was good. Here comes the pressure. He's able to duck it. He's going to tuck it under and go. Thomas makes the tackle inside the 40. It's a first down, but the clock continues to run.
Look at back at the 35-yard line. You had Skip McClendon and Joe Kelly. Can't believe the Bengal defenders can't believe that Randall Cunningham eluded those two. They better get off the football field, and they don't.
And Cunningham throws the ball at the ground and immediately points to McClendon, who didn't get off the field in time. A flag is down.
Bengals had 13 players on the field because Joe Kelly and Skip McClendon did not get off the field in time.
And it'll go against the Bengals, and that's what Randall Cunningham very alertly did. There's a story, Dave, where 3 years ago, when Cunningham was just beginning his career, he probably wouldn't have been cognizant of that.
That's right.
He's matured so tremendously.
He's seeing the whole field.
Too many men on the field against the defense. First down.
What happened on that play, Sam's upset about it, but what happened is that Skip McClendon and Joe Kelly were commiserating over the fact that they couldn't get Randall Cunningham down, and he got up to the line of scrimmage in a hurry. They didn't get off the football field in time. He snapped the football, had 13 men on the field, and couldn't play.
And in case you're wondering, as you look at Dean Dorsey, the place kicker for the Eagles, the intentional grounding rule has been modified over the past couple of years that the quarterback has to be under pressure when he dumps it away in order for it to be intentional grounding. He just took a step back and threw it at the ground. Cunningham hit from behind by Buck and dropped back at the 45, and that's a big sack.
Tremendous sack by Jason Buck. That's what the Bengals drafted him for out of Brigham Young University, his pass rush potential. He is the designated pass rusher. Here he comes from Randall Cunningham's blind side, beats the tackle upfield, wraps both hands around his waist, brings him down. He had the big sack against Neil Lomax, the last play of the game last weekend against the Cardinals.
And he's been in on 2 today as the Eagles stop the clock with 14 seconds left in the half. 14 is the magic number because that's our score, 14 apiece.
You know, Jason Buck's got that tremendous upfield speed. That's his forte, is speed rush. He's not a power rusher, doesn't have tremendous strength, but he's a finesse speed rusher. Got upfield very effectively on that occasion. Randall Cunningham on the sideline saying, let's keep these guys off of me. Can't see him. He doesn't have eyes in back of his head.
2nd and 14 facing the Eagles, but the important thing is they need to hit one pass to give Dorsey a shot at it. Because inside the 40-yard line, Dorsey hits on 89% of his field goals for his career. Most of that coming in Ottawa in Canada, but that is still an impressive number.
I think the Bengals have made a tactical change. They've decided just to pressure Randall Cunningham, bring more people to rush the quarterback. They're bringing 5 and 6 people with regularity, people in his face as well as on his flank. You can't give him any seam to take advantage of running the football.
Byers comes out. Greg Garrity, number 86, at the bottom of your screen as they send triple receivers to the bottom. Carter and Quick, the other 2. Cunningham for Garrity. Nice grab at the 25, and he gets out of bounds. What an effort from Garrity. Lewis Phillips was trying to keep him inbounds, but Garrity, the smart veteran with 7 seconds left, was able to get out of bounds, and now Dorsey will come on to try to break this tie.
Tremendous route run by Garrity. He takes it downfield, slams the brakes on. Cunningham delivers. Look at the separation. Lewis Phillips thought that he was going to be taking the ball down deep. Garrity slammed the brakes on, took it back to the sideline, a little comeback pattern. Randall Cunningham put it right between his numbers. A big, big play. Tremendous pass route by Garrity.
42-yard effort. From outside the 40, he's 83% successful. Here's a guy who kicked 23 straight field goals in '87 up in the Canadian League. And as I tell you how good he is, he slides it to the right.
The kiss of death. Dorsey's upset about it. That's a tough life, that of a kicker. Of course, he's getting some condolences from his teammates on the sideline, but you don't go through all the pounding. The offensive lineman really upset, works so hard to get the ball in position. When the kicker misses it, it's a tough deal for the kicker. Dean Dorsey puts good leg into it. He's trying to coax it in, little body English, lean back. Oh, come back to the left a little bit. Oh, geez, no, not enough. Little disappointment registered right there.
There's no in-between for a kicker. It's feast or famine.
Well, that's a fact.
2 seconds left. The Bengals just touch it down, and that will send both teams into the locker room, tied at 14. The Eagles took the early lead 7-0, and after the Bengals tied it, they took another lead of 14-7. But the Bengals came back to knot it up, and the Eagles had the best opportunities to go ahead, one with that missed field goal, and another when they had 1st and goal at the 7, only to have a pass intercepted by Solomon Wilcox. So that is our story at halftime. The Eagles and the Bengals all knotted up before a sellout crowd here at the Vet in Philadelphia.
We're not
Early evening approaching in Philadelphia at sold-out Veterans Stadium. We're at halftime.
where the Bengals and the Eagles are all tied up at 14 apiece. Hello again, everyone. Kevin Slayton alongside Dave Lapham. The Eagles got off to the early start. They scored first. The Bengals tied it. The Eagles took the lead. The Bengals tied it again. We expected that type of a game, and we've not been disappointed. It was the running game that Dave Lapham talked about at the top of the show. That was the key for the Eagles in their first drive.
Here it is, Tony, the fullback. Both Byers and Tony did a nice job. Tony takes this, cuts back up over the middle on Solomon Wilcots, not touched till he's 2 yards into the end zone. Then Boomer Esiason retaliates Tim McGee down the middle of the field, really taking advantage of the safeties on this play. Tim McGee turns on the Astro Jets, takes it right to the corner of the end zone. We've got ourselves a tie ball game, 7-7 at this particular time. Then the Eagles come right back. Touchdown pass to Keith Jackson. And he just beats the linebackers, between the linebackers and safeties on that play to take the lead. Boomer Esiason himself comes right back, evades the rush, lays it off to James Brooks. He tight ropes the sideline, cuts back inside, takes it into the end zone to tie the game, taunts Wes Hopkins a little bit. Hopkins gets up, takes exception to that. Double shot to the face mask, penalty, 15-yard penalty on the ensuing kickoff, and things are getting physical.
Second half kickoff set for it as Breach is down there getting ready to tee it up, and he'll kick to either Konechny or Beal. 14-14 tie. A low line drive headed for the sidelines, and it goes out of bounds at about the 10-yard line.
The Bengals ball, or excuse me, the Eagles ball at the 35-yard line. Ball kicked out of bounds like that. No option involved.
So the Eagles will start off with pretty good field position again. That's been the story for them all day. They've been able to maintain good field position 3 times in the first half. They started their possessions inside the 40-yard line of Cincinnati. On 2 of those, they scored touchdowns, and the third one resulted in a Solomon Wilcots interception. Jackson, the big tight end, in motion. The toss is to Byers. In trouble. Down he goes. McClendon, number 72, was the first one back there. The second-year player out of Arizona State.
Bengals ran a little stunt that time between excuse me, Leon White and Skip McClendon on that play. Skip McClendon looped around Leon White, the outside linebacker, made the play on that. Look at those yards rushing, Kevin. 11 yards for the Bengals, 93 for the Eagles.
And as good a day as Esiason has had, Randall Cunningham has had a better one. The time of possession story is the big number. You saw 21 minutes for the Eagles, just over 9 for the Bengals. Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Cunningham to the air, now is chased out of there. Scow has him. That'll be a sack in the grass. Way back at the 23-yard line. So Scow has had a hand in 2 sacks for the Bengals today.
I believe that's number 3 in the sack category, or 4 for the Bengals. Jim Scow, look at how he just kept his eyes on Randall Cunningham. Grabbed him with both arms, swung him around in the grass. It's a sack. Did you notice on his pass rush, all he was doing was keeping his eyes firmly entrenched on Randall Cunningham. When you have a pocket quarterback, as a defensive lineman, you just rush to a point. You can't do that with Randall Cunningham. He won't be there. You have to have your eyes on him at all times.
That's a loss of 9. It's 3rd and 22. The Eagles have converted 3 of 7 third down situations. Jackson is split in the slot. And he's going to Jackson, a leaping catch with 2 defenders on him at the 33. Nowhere near a first down, as Barney Bussey was the first to make contact, but that gives you an idea of the pass-catching ability of the Eagles' first-round pick.
Not to mention the courage factor, because he went up and exposed, I mean, both defensive backs, Wilcots and Fulcher on that play, could count his ribs. He went up and totally exposed himself, and that's a big-time NFL play because you're going to take a shot on that, and he held onto the football as well.
Of course, at 6'2" and 250, Jackson may end up counting their teeth after the collision.
That's very true.
Telchik will punt it away. Martin is deep. Here they come, and he gets it off. It's a short punt. Takes a Cincinnati bounce, and it's down at about the 42-yard line. So the Bengals will operate with good field position. John Klingel, number 97, was down there. Telchik is not real happy about it. Scow, who got the 4th Bengals sack, both he and Buck have got 2 apiece today.
And that's a plus for the Bengals. Their defensive linemen are not big defensive line, 2-gap type people. Small, quick, great ability to run. That's the kind of defensive line you like to have rushing the quarterback when the quarterback's Randall Cunningham. Jason Buck, Jim Scow, all with great speed.
First down, Bengals, their own 42. Evans back in the game at middle linebacker for the Eagles, number 56. He had been benched by Buddy Ryan late in the first half. Brooks, Jerome Brown nearly had him for a loss, and now he's stacked up near the line of scrimmage on the far side. Byron Evans, number 56, the man we just talked about, was the first on the scene.
Bengals still trying to establish that running attack. And as I mentioned earlier, Buddy Ryan is trying to take James Brooks out of the game. Jerome Brown made great penetration, couldn't get there though. Hopkins trying to run it down. Just everybody's, look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white jerseys around James Brooks. They're taking him out of the Bengal offense if they possibly can.
Dave, you saw quickly Hopkins was up from the safety spot to get into the backfield and support the run. Maybe that's why their defense has been vulnerable down the middle today.
That's exactly right. They have their noses in the running game with regularity. Can't play both, run and pass.
2nd and 8. See if Esiason tries to take advantage of it. He guns it for home, and it's tipped and intercepted by Hopkins on the far side. He has it down at the 45, and the Eagles have the turnover.
Homer Esiason a little disgusted on that one. Very catchable ball. Deflected off Rodney Holman's shoulder pads. 3rd turnover of the day for the Bengals. That's an interception you can't blame on the quarterback. Boomer rolls to his left, sets up, fires the ball. Rodney, instead of catching it with his hands, tries to cradle it with his body, ricochets off his shoulder pads, and Hopkins comes up with the play. That's the 3rd turnover Rodney Holman's been involved with.
2 fumbles, and now he has that one go off his hands. Hopkins just back into the lineup last week for the first time in 2 years after knee surgery. You can see what he's done. He only played about a half of the game last week and got a pickoff. Cunningham on first down to Byers. Here's the halfback pass, and he's smeared. And I mean, Reggie Williams really drilled him.
They're calling
it a pass.
Incomplete pass, right. His arm was in the throwing motion.
Well, Reggie Williams said hello in a most rude way.
That was a big hit by Reggie Williams. He did a nice job of deciphering. But this is a lateral. It's not a forward pass. It's a lateral. Keith Byers sets up, but Reggie Williams never gives him an opportunity to follow through on his throwing motion. Reggie Williams reads the play. Byers sets up, bang, puts his helmet right between the 4 and the 1 on Keith Byers. Never has a chance to complete his throwing motion.
2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. Byers out of the ballgame. Junior Tatalatasi in that replacement, and he carries the ball. Gets a couple up near the 48 before Leon White, number 51, comes over to make the stop. Tatalatasi, the 3rd-year player out of Washington State. He does a lot of things for the Eagles, Dave. Plays well on special teams. We saw him deflect a punt earlier.
Tim Crumry and Dave Remington got into it a little altercation after that play was over. So things are heating up a little bit in that as they kind of fight for territory right over the nose of the football.
3rd and 7 for Cunningham out of the shotgun. Jackson is split into the slot at the top of your screen. Here comes the blitz. There goes Cunningham. Flag is down. He has a first down at the Bengal 41. But a flag was dropped deep in the Cincinnati secondary in the area of Mike Quick.
Kevin, I'm wondering if he's going to have to pick that flag up. I think the referee was looking. He might be thinking defensive holding unless Mike Quick did something a little bit inadvertent. If that's a defensive penalty, he might have to pick
holding,
it up.
number 29, defense.
Ricky Dixon, the first-round Bengal pick out of Oklahoma that just signed late.
Right, but the thing is, Randall Cunningham was not throwing the football. This was a design run, a quarterback draw. Ricky Dixon can play off of the defender trying to get to the quarterback running the ball. He's a running back at that point. He's not a quarterback throwing the ball. There shouldn't be defensive holding. In my estimation on that play, I think that's what the conference is about.
Bob McElwee will let us know.
Holding, number 29, during the run, 5 yards.
During the run. I don't understand that one. I can understand holding if Randall Cunningham's in a situation where he's going to throw the ball downfield, but Ricky Dixon can shed him, can use his hands to shed him. Sam Weiss is living on the sideline. That's his point. Can't call holding on a running play on the cornerback like that. He has a right to get to the quarterback as a runner. He's no longer a quarterback. He's a running back, which Cunningham basically is. He's a tailback with a howitzer hanging off his right shoulder.
You see what he's done running the football today. We told you the leading rusher on this team last year, the only quarterback in the NFL that led his team in rushing for the 1987 season. First down, Eagles there at the Cincinnati 36-yard line. Byers back in there, skipped through the middle of the line. He's into the secondary, down to the 24 before Solomon Wilcox holds on. But that's another Eagle first down, and we have an injured Eagle on the play.
This is the power play right up the middle between the tackles. Nice trap block thrown once again by Singletary, and Keith Byers takes advantage of it. First man to make any kind of a hit. It's free safety Solomon Wilcox, number 41, and that's tough. When you have to hit Keith Byers, he's been unimpeded until he gets to you in the secondary.
Singletary, who made the block, comes off. Adam Schreiber, number 76, a 50-year man out of Texas, replaces him. Byers 30 yards rushing today and 9 carries. That was his longest game of the day, 11 yards, first down at the 24. Here he goes again. He's trying to get outside, stiff arms one tackler, and is ridden out by Fulcher. But I'll tell you, Lewis Billups knows Byers was there. He gave him a left jab that knocked him down for the count.
Byers almost stumbled to the ground, lost his footing a little bit, got a low center of gravity at that point, and Lewis Billups was trying to come up and force on the play, and Byers just shed him at that point. Watch Keith Byers trip a little bit on the AstroTurf. The turf monkeys get to him right there, almost goes down. He just stiff arms Billups at that point. Billups helped him maintain his balance after the collision. Byers took advantage of it. A nice run on the play.
He picked up 5, 2nd and 5, so the Eagle running game is cooking as we have 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Eagles knocking on the door. Tony and Cunningham run into each other, then Zander runs into Tony, and that pretty much told the story of the play.
That's right, Carl Zander. It was a design blitz, a run blitz in that play. He filled the hole before the play had a chance to develop.
A lot of defense in the Raiders-Houston game. That one's at halftime. Minnesota handing it to New England. Denver the same to San Diego, and look what Seattle's done to the Chiefs.
Boy, Seattle looks tough. They beat Denver, and they're pouring it on this weekend.
6 of 10, the Eagles in third down conversions. They have a 3rd and 5.
Reggie Singletary, he's not injured severely. He just has a twisted ankle. He'll be back in the football game.
3rd and 5. Cunningham out of the shotgun. Inside handoff is to Tony. He's shy of the first down. Leo Barker, number 53, the linebacker on the right side, came up to stop him. And that will bring the field goal unit out. Now Dean Dorsey has to be thinking a little bit. He missed an easy one near the end of the first half, just pushed it to the right.
Randall Cunningham a little frustrated, hands on hip as he came to the sideline. I think he wanted to throw the football on that set of downs at some point. Have to be patient, though.
Inside the 40, as I mentioned, in his career, Dorsey has hit 89%. And he's got this one right down the middle from 34 yards out, and that breaks the 14-14 tie as the crowd at the Vet lets Dorsey know he's back in their camp. 3-point Eagle lead. We'll be back to the Vet for more in a moment.
Today's game is brought to you by Oldsmobile. Test drive a new Oldsmobile soon at your nearest Oldsmobile dealer. By Goodyear Certified Auto Service. Nobody fits you like Goodyear. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler.
Back live, Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia. Kevin Slayton, Dave Lapham. The Eagles on a 34-yard field goal by Dean Dorsey have taken the lead 17-14 with 8:26 left in the third quarter. This kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Stanford Jennings is deep in the center, and Dorsey with a low kick. Bussey gets in front of it. He takes it at the 7. Spins and is dropped as he gets across the 20 to about the 22-yard line before Scott Curtis and Ty Allard get down there. So Buddy Ryan's defense will go back to work after that 16-yard return.
One of the weaknesses of the Eagle team last year was special teams play. They were 27th in the league covering kicks, 28th returning kicks, 27th covering punts. They've done a tremendous job this afternoon on special teams. In fact, I think that's the reason for the 3-point differential. Great kick coverage. They deflected a punt. They've done a real good job on special teams, and that's 1/3 of the football game.
Bengals operate out of a one-back offense. Stanley Wilson is the one back there. Boomer quick
quickly to Eddie Brown, and that's the third ball we've seen him drop today. Dave, just a lack of concentration, you think?
Yeah, Eddie Brown had that problem last season, Kevin. He's had a situation where he's had injured hands, bruised hands, and all through the offseason he bought Play-Doh, manipulated the Play-Doh to strengthen his hands, trying to alleviate the problem of dropping so many catchable balls, but he seems to have lapsed a little bit this afternoon.
We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
WMAR-TV, your Summer Olympic station.
2nd and 10 for the Bengals after Brown's drop from their own 22-yard line. They trailed by 3, 17-14. Eagles coming with pressure. Esiason completes it to Brown. This time he sheds Roynell Young, has a first down, and gets out of bounds up near the 40. Just shy of it. Wes Hopkins was over there to shake him out of bounds after a pickup of 20.
Great downfield block by Tim McGee, giving Eddie Brown an opportunity for more yardage. Boomer drops, throws the ball on an out pattern. Watch Eddie Brown as he breaks that field. Watch 85 in the black come in and deliver this block. And boom, right there allows Eddie Brown to get. And Eddie realized the block was thrown. He didn't have to get out of bounds so quickly. Look at Bruce Reimers, pancakes, knocks Reggie White down to the ground. In fact, Reggie White has been held sackless so far this afternoon. A great compliment to the Bengal offensive line.
He has 16 sacks in his last 17 games, but none today. Pattis in motion on first down. They'll run it with Brooks. He heads to the outside. Roynell Young shoves him out of bounds at about the 45. Pickup of about 6 for Brooks, and he's talking to Jerome Brown, and that's a mistake.
JB, he doesn't care how big the people are. He wants to go after them. Takes the ball off the right tackle, turns it upfield to Roynell Young. Watch him lower his head. Boom. Delivers a tremendous hit. Did you see number 43 in the White's head snap back? That's a major league hit on Roynell Young. And James Brooks is only 185 pounds, but sometimes big explosions come in little packages.
He's not afraid to dish it out. 16 yards rushing for Brooks today on just 4 carries, 2nd and 4. And most of that has come rushing to the outside. Boomer Esiason going down the middle. He's gunning it for Martin. Overthrew him just a little bit. Eric Everett was back there, the rookie out of Texas Tech. Roynell Young was replaced by Everett after that collision, and Esiason noticed it and went right to it.
Once again, the Bengals go down the middle of the field. Michael Martin stretching, full extension. Ball just slips between his hands. But still, the Bengals are trying to abuse the middle of the field because the Philadelphia Eagles safeties are so cognizant of the running game. They're getting their noses up there a little bit too tight for the line of scrimmage. And Bengals continue to go down the middle of the passing game.
3 wide receivers in there for the Bengals. McGee and Brown to the bottom of the screen. Martin to the top. They keep an extra tight end in the block. Oh, it's nearly intercepted. Great job by Seth Joyner, but a flag is down in the backfield. And it's going to be holding against the Bengals.
Right, Joe Walter's upset about it. He's saying that Reggie White, he gave me the rip. Reggie White, he said, I didn't hold him. His momentum took him down to the ground. Joe Walter doing a good job all day long, and here's Reggie White and Jerome Brown getting into it a little bit. Munoz comes over to police the situation. But they're calling a takedown on Joe Walter, number 63 in the black for the Cincinnati Bengals on Reggie White.
Holding, number 63 offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
So it'll be a punting situation for the Bengals. And you see Reggie White involved in all of that fighting down there. We talked to him. He's such a soft-spoken guy yesterday, and I asked him how being a minister helps him in football, and he said, well, it's very simple. You know, it's a very violent game, but I know I'm playing for the Lord first and my teammates second, and that's how he keeps it in perspective. Fullhade's out there to boot it away, has not had a good day. Has had one partially blocked. Konechny is deep for the Eagles at about his own 20, but Fullhade has not gotten anywhere near that distance today on his punt. This time he does. Konechny back at his 16. Has some room. Up the middle to about the 28 before he's knocked down by Barney Bussey. 40-yard punt, 14-yard return, 7:40 left in the 3rd quarter. Eagles by 3. Excitement has returned to Philadelphia Eagle football. A sellout crowd at the vet. Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham. First down Eagles from their own 28. 7:40 left, 3rd quarter, and they enjoy a field goal lead. On first down, it's Tony over the right side. Krumrie riding him down. Got some help from Joe Kelly, number 58.
That's Crumry territory right up the middle. Number 69 on Dave Remington on the nose, plays off the block, and Joe Kelly and Tim Crumry combine on that play for a very minimal gain.
34 yards on the day rushing for Anthony Toney on 10 carries. 2nd and 6. Those big first down carries will help ease the pressure on Cunningham, who has all day to throw in one of his few core passes. I think he thought Keith Jackson would go a little bit further than he did.
Right, Kevin. I think they were on different pages. That's an option route. The tight end comes downfield and plays off of what the linebacker shows him. And Keith Jackson hooked to the inside. Cunningham expected him to hook to the outside and threw the ball that way. They were just on different reads.
We've talked about the great development of Cunningham, and he told me yesterday, Dave, that it's all because of the confidence that Buddy Ryan showed in him. And the great work that Doug Scoville, the quarterback coach, has put in with him. But Buddy Ryan, in turn, says no quarterback in the league works harder than Randall Cunningham is studying films, preparing for games. So on 3rd and 6, he tries to pick it up and does to Jackson. And the big man is hard to bring down. He knew where the first down was.
Boy, that was a great display of strength right there. It was borderline marginal if he had achieved the first down once he made the reception. But watch what he does after he catches the football. Here he works himself to the inside. That's not a first down yet, but he says, I'm not going down, and just pirouettes, reverse pivots himself over the 40-yard line. Tremendous effort by Keith Jackson. Boy, he's strong as a Brahma bull.
Eric Thomas was simply outmanned for a guy who has caught 7 balls today for 51 yards and a touchdown.
Eric Thomas, I should say, was calling for some help. Hey, who heard my truth? I can't hold on to this guy all day.
First down, Eagles just across their 40. Here goes Byer. Heavy traffic, sheds a tackle. Kelly gets shed also, and he's run out of bounds. Crumry was all the way over there, number 69, but Byers, to give you an idea how strong he was, after he ran out of a shoe tackle, he ran out of a grasp of Kelly.
I think Byers, this is doing a lot for the season that Keith Byers hopes to have for the Philadelphia Eagles. Caught a lot of criticism after his performance against the Buccaneers. Averaged only a half a yard per carry last weekend. Doing a nice job. He's now got 45 yards on 11 rushes against the Bengal defense. He's doing a fine job, and they're displaying speed and power.
Got 6 that time. Makes it easy for Cunningham on 2nd and 4. From the play selection standpoint. There goes Toney straight up the gut. Fulcher came up from the secondary, number 33, along with Zander, number 91.
You make a great point, Kev, when you said that 2nd and 6. Anytime you can gain over 4 yards on first down, it's so easy for the offense.
As we check the ticker, boy, the Cleveland Browns still have not scored a touchdown this year. They didn't score against Kansas City last week. They haven't scored today. Of course, their quarterback, Bernie Kosar, is out. Chargers and Chiefs getting pounded by Western Division foes, and the Rams and Lions are all tied at 10. Our game 17-14. The Eagles lead the Bengals. 5.5 minutes left, 3rd quarter. Big 3rd and short play. Cunningham on a naked reverse wants to throw it. Now he'll simply outrun Williams for the first down. He was looking for Keith Jackson, believe it or not, but he was covered. And Cunningham just tucked it under himself.
That was a case where you can't coach speed. Watch, Reggie Williams sees the play, knows Randall Cunningham is running out there on a naked bootleg, but he's just not fast enough. He's there, but you can't coach that physical speed that Cunningham has. And, boy, it's just a safe call, tremendous call offensively. He's now got 64 yards rushing on 7 carries. Cunningham leading the team, which is not unusual. He led the team for the entire season last year. 505 yards rushing.
Buddy Ryan told us yesterday he hates to coach against a quarterback like Cunningham because you can have all the receivers covered, then he beats you with a big running play. Here comes the blitz, and it's batted down. It appears that Parker to White. Leon White, number 51, who picks it up, is the man who knocked it down. And that will put the Eagles in a 2nd and 10, so that makes it a little different than what they had been doing.
There's Randall Cunningham. What an athlete this guy is. I mean, he's a quarterback that can run 70 yards with the ball or throw it for 70 yards. And this is just deflected. Nice rush up the middle by Leon White and Carl Zander. White got his hands on the ball, knocked it down for an incompletion. But Cunningham can run better than a 4.6 40. He's high jump, 6'10" when he was in high school. This guy should be a decathlete.
Mike Quick told us yesterday, talking about the work ethic of Cunningham, to go come over to my house and just throw the ball around in the backyard. Like a kid. Byers running the right
side, Leon White, 51, and David Fulcher, number 33, combining to bring him down. He got inside the 40, and it's going to bring up about a 3rd and 6 or 7.
This was a problem area for the Bengals in the first game against the Cardinals. They allowed a conversion rate 8 out of 12 on 3rd down conversions, which is way too many, 67%. They're going to do better than that. And the Eagles have done a pretty nice job today on 3rd down conversions. And they're 8 out of 13 themselves, better than 50%. So this is a big one at this point of the ball.
3rd and 6 from the shotgun. Cunningham will try to pick up the first down. Here comes the blitz. Quickly reads it, hits Jackson. Nice tackle on the far side by Fulcher. Short of the first down. Well, if you're Cincinnati, that's who you want to be making that open field tackle on Jackson, because that's about your only chance.
That's exactly right. You've got a situation on a matchup. Keith Jackson catches the ball in the flat. Instead of Eric Thomas, you've got your big, strong safety. Number 33, David Fulcher, who's the biggest one in the National Football League, built more along the lines of a linebacker instead of a cornerback, trying to drag Jackson down.
They faked the punt last week, but they don't do it this week. Telchik tries to the corner. Latasi's down there along with Frizzell. They'll kill it at about the 10. So the Eagles elect to play it a tad conservatively on 4th and 3. They punt it. And with 3:59 left in the 3rd quarter, hang on to their 3-point lead. We'll come back to the Vet for more in a moment. Next Sunday, join NBC Sports for more exciting football action. Kick off your day with NFL Live at 12:30 Eastern. Then our regional coverage of Week 3 includes the defending AFC champion Broncos against the Kansas City Chiefs and these Bengals against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Kevin Slayton and Dave Lapham, listen to the crowd at the Vet. 17-14 Eagles lead, 3:59 left, 3rd quarter. Bengals first down, just inside the 10. This is where a mistake would kill you. They'll throw it. Here comes Reggie White. And he gets it outside to Brown. Has a first down at the 22. That's how you beat the pass rush. Andre Waters, number 20, over there to make the play. Esiason was cool, just like a gunfighter back there.
Boomer Esiason, we talk a lot about the running ability of Randall Cunningham. Boomer Esiason provides the same thing for the Bengals. Evades the pressure by slipping to his left, hits Eddie Brown. Eddie Brown shucks the tackle there. Big first down to get out of the shadow of his own end zone. Boomer Esiason is the great improviser, just like Randall Cunningham. Watch Reggie White, number 92, flush him out of the pocket. And Reggie White runs a 4.6 40. Boomer simply evades him for a positive gain.
Bengals haven't come back to Tim McGee since his 78-yard touchdown catch early in the game. That's the 3rd catch for Brown, but he has 3 drops as well. On first down, they'll run it with Stanley Wilson. Seth Joyner in there. Byron Evans, also number 56. Jerome Brown, number 99, at the bottom of that pile.
You know, Boomer Esiason is now 13 for 21 for over 260 yards passing. And that's over 20 yards completion, over 11 yards per attempt. I mean, just tremendous. Big play. When he throws the ball, they're getting big chunks. It's not just your 5-10-yard out patterns. As we said all game long, he's exposing the middle of the Eagles secondary with great advantage throughout the entire course of the football game.
Pickup of 5, 2nd and 5. That's one of the more effective running plays for the Bengals today. Esiason changing with the line of scrimmage now. And the clock has run out. Or did he call a timeout in time?
He called time.
He looked up, saw that clock was just about to expire, and as he called timeout, it did expire. 3-point Eagle lead thanks to the Dean Dorsey field goal. We'll return to the Vet for more in a moment. We've kept you up to date on the football scores. Here's the American League East. The Yankees in the first four games. Boston lost. Look out for the Brewers, as Dave Lapham said to me earlier. They have been hot. 2nd and 5. They've been chanting for Reggie White here in Philadelphia. And he heard the chant and acknowledged the crowd during the break. He's so anxious he nearly jumped. And he did maybe. A flag is down as Stanley Wilson is stopped shy of the first down. So Reggie's blood got going.
That's right. He had the adrenaline pump and he couldn't contain himself. He wanted to please the crowd.
But Joe Walter, Dave, has done a good job on him today as we wait for the call here.
That's exactly right. I guess legal procedure has brought Reggie White into the neutral zone.
Joe got nervous that time.
But Joe, it's a situation, Kevin. I experienced the same thing. My first start against.
Illegal shift on the offense. 2 men moving. 2 men moving.
He got 2 people
Second
nervous.
down.
You know, Buddy Ryan said that we move Reggie White around on the line so that he doesn't just terrify one guy, he terrifies a whole bunch of them. He did it that time.
He can do that to you, too. First time I played against Joe Green, I just felt that, hey, Joe Green dominates people. If I block him anywhere nearly effectively, that film will get around the league and they'll say, hey, this guy can play. Joe Walter probably feels the same way. It's a no-lose situation for Joe. If Reggie White dominates, or doesn't dominate, but has his usual game, everybody will say he does that to everyone. If Joe Walter, like he has done, by the way, this afternoon, neutralizes Reggie White, his stock rises in the National Football League.
And of course, the question, I can't let you off the hook, did you dominate Joe Green?
No, I held my own, though. I mean, it was a personal Super Bowl for me. I was sky high.
2nd and 10. The crowd comes to its feet. They'd like to see Reggie White get involved. Esiason rolling right and throws too high, intended for McGee. And now he and Roynell Young, the defensive back, get into it. But it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Bengals. And if Reggie were ever going to tear it loose, this would be the time.
The Bengals have not converted on 3rd down. They're 0 for 4 this afternoon. And last weekend, the Eagles held the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to 1 out of 11, 9% conversion rate, and 0% this afternoon. That's just unbelievable. Roynell Young climbs up the back of Tim McGee. Tim McGee says, takes a little exception to what's going on. It's going to be physical. It's coming down right down the wire here this afternoon.
The officials have been very quick to get in the middle of any of those fisticuffs, and I give them credit. Esiason on 3rd and 10. Plenty of time down the middle. Has Eddie Brown. This could be 6, but he's going to get caught from behind. Good job coming over from Eric Everett. Otherwise, Brown was gone.
Boy, if we can get another look at that pass protection, my hat is off to the Bengal offensive line. They ran a stunt, brought Reggie White right up the middle, and Max Montoya picked it up extremely well. But here's the pass pattern. Watch how long it takes for this play to develop. It's a crossing pattern. It has to be good protection. Eddie Brown, it's such a long time. He gets separation from the defensive back. Of course, they had the angle to knock him out of bounds, but Boomer Esiason was afforded a lot of time to allow Eddie Brown to run that long crossing pattern. That's Eddie Brown's 4th catch in the afternoon.
38-yard play. Terry Hogue, the safety, had been turned around by Brown on the move. 1st down running play to Wilson. Reggie White on top of him, but Jerome Brown was the first one there, number 99 at the bottom of the pile.
Once again, I can't say enough about the pass protection the line gave Boomer Esiason. 3rd and 10 to get the best pass rusher in the National Football League coming right up the gut. Max Montoya stuck his head in there and picked him up. It was a great job.
They're at the Eagle 39, the Bengals are, with a 2nd and 6. So as we mentioned, the Eagles predicted on 1st down running plays. This time the Bengals are, and it gives Esiason 2 options. And they'll run it again with Wilson. He's hit by Byron Evans as he tries to cut back to the 35. Number 56, the middle linebacker, making the play.
That's where the Eagles have been so effective, is on 1st down. They keep so many teams in 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8 situations that's why their 3rd down conversion ratio is so dramatic. They stuff people on 1st down. 3rd and 8 is a lot tougher to convert than 3rd and 1, let's face it.
You can see 30 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Eagles have a 3-point lead. It's 3rd and 3. Wilson and Brooks in the backfield. The fake reverse. Brooks keeps it himself. Roynell Young had him measured, but Brooks has the 1st down inside the 30. Down at the 28-yard line of the Eagles. And that will finish the 3rd quarter of action here in the vet. Clock ticking down with 5 seconds left.
And James Brooks at the end of that play got up and said to Roynell Young, hey, heck of a job. When I'm out here in the open field one-on-one, for you to stay with me and make that tackle, I take my hat off to you.
And he did the job as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. At the end of the 3rd quarter, the Eagles lead the Bengals 17-14. We'll be right back after these messages from your local stations. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Philadelphia Eagles and the National Football League is prohibited. 1st down for the Bengals from the Eagle 29. Esiason wants to throw on 1st. Guns it, knocked down by nearly intercepted, and that's the rookie from Arizona State that Buddy Ryan speaks so highly of, and that's one of the few times today that Esiason has challenged Eric Allen.
Just a great play by Eric Allen. Boomer has plenty of time, tries to look Eric Allen off by looking the opposite direction, throws a seat in there, but Eric Allen looks like he's the primary receiver. I mean, he's on Tim McGee like a blanket, just great coverage.
Buddy Ryan said he would have made him his #1 pick in the draft had it not been for the availability of Keith Jackson.
Exactly.
2nd and 10 for the Bengals. They would like to come out of here with no less than 3. That would tie the game. They'll run it with Brooks. Trying to get outside, does so, turns the corner, and is knocked out of bounds by Andre Waters, #20, and Byron Evans, #56, short of the first down.
It's one of the better rushes that the Cincinnati Bengals have had this afternoon. Before that carry, they had accumulated 38 yards on 15 attempts. That's about an 8-yard pickup, so let's call it unofficially 46 yards on 16 carries, which is exactly 3 yards a pop. Not scintillating. The Bengals would like to run the ball more effectively than that. The flip side of that, the Eagles have 152 yards rushing this afternoon on 31 carries.
3rd and 2 for the Bengals. Wilson has the first down after a nice cut. Hopkins and Roydell Young combine on the stop. But it was all effort from Stanley Wilson to be able to change directions behind the block of Anthony Munoz.
And that's where the Bengals like to run. They've run there for years and years. Short yardage, goal line. Watch Stanley just make a lateral cut. Anthony Munoz took his man inside, and Stanley Wilson just made a tailback type cut from the fullback position for a first down. 21 yards on the afternoon on 9 carries for Stanley Wilson. And they've all been tough earned yards, I'll tell you.
And he did it that time with Wes Hopkins trying to twist his head off. First down at the 15. Brooks in motion. Esiason into the air. For Brooks outside. That'll be a touchdown for the Bengals. Boy, they left the wrong guy alone that time.
I can't believe it. Broken coverage, and I can't believe that it was James Brooks that they left all alone. That's the first time that Boomer's thrown a pass of any significance to the corner area rather than down the middle of the field. And I think the Eagles had made an adjustment to try to pack the middle of the football field, and in doing so, they forgot all about James Brooks out in the corner. Look at Boomer looking down the middle. Then he realizes, holy smokes, look out here. My main man, James Brooks, #21, is all alone. Broken coverage on that play, and James Brooks celebrates.
2nd touchdown catch of the day for Brooks. He also caught one against the Cardinals last week, and that gives the Bengals their first lead of the day. Jim Breach on to try to make it a 4-point lead, and he does. I thought that one was going to be blocked right up the middle with hands there, but he knocked it through. And that makes it a 21-17 Bengal lead, and Sam White is a happy fella. We'll be back for more.
Today's game is brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. Everything else is just a light. By Mazda and the exciting new Mazda cars and trucks for 1989. And by First Brands Corporation, makers of STP oil treatment.
Kevin Slayton and Dave Lapham live at Veterans Stadium. Dave, it was James Brooks' 2nd touchdown catch of the day that gave the Bengals the lead moments ago. They lead it by 4. Esiason over 300 yards passing. Last guy to do that against the Eagles was Dan Marino. Sean Beals at his own 4. Eagles need a big play. Flags come flying as Beals breaks into the clear. I would imagine you'll see an illegal block.
I would say so. Illegal block in the back.
44-yard return will most likely come back. It's Buddy Ryan. That's what it'll do. It'll go against the Eagles.
Holding number 97 on the receiving team during the run back.
You know, this Eagle team,
yards.
a very young team. Their average experience is under 4 years apiece, and the average age right around 25 years. And Buddy Ryan told us yesterday that his team will beat some people this year. They'll scare a lot more, and in a year or two, they'll be playing with the big boys every week.
Yeah, that's right. And speaking of age, Kevin, this Bengal defense that's out on the field right now, they start 9 of their 11 people are 25 years old or younger. And that's with 4 years or less experience. They're very young themselves. So we've got a couple of young teams knocking heads here this afternoon. Bengals go 90 yards in 11 plays. Second touchdown pass for Bill.
Excuse me, Dave. 6 touchdown passes for Esiason on the year now. Nobody in the backfield with Cunningham. He lofts it out. Oh, a great catch by Quick!
Wow.
A one-handed grab with his back to the quarterback.
Unbelievable play by Mike Quick. You talk about an adjustment to a football. I mean, Randall Cunningham's not proud of this throw. You need to get a shotgun out to kill it, really. That's a wounded duck a little bit. Look at Mike Quick. Unbelievable. Does a complete 360, catches the ball with his fingertips. There's no wonder this guy has been in the Pro Bowl 5 consecutive years. Look, he doesn't even realize the ball's there till it's like 8 yards away from him. And he still turns his entire body and makes a fingertip catch. Incredible athlete.
Never did use the other hand to gather it in. All with the one hand, and that wasn't close. It was a stretch. He had to reach out and get it.
Great coverage by Eric Thomas. He's saying, what do I have to do to cover this guy?
38 yards on that play. Here's Tony following Byers, but he doesn't get very far to about the 45 before he's run down. Reggie Williams, 57. Tim Crumrye, number 69. Both were there. Quick has 3 catches today for 55 yards. He's so explosive. Last week he caught 2 balls against Tampa Bay, but he had 90 yards on the 2 catches.
Now, this guy gets deep on a yearly basis. He catches a touchdown pass for at least 70 yards or more on at least one occasion every year. He's had a 99-yard touchdown reception for a team record. Explosive receiver.
5 straight Pro Bowls tells you something. 2nd and 8. Cunningham guns it for Quick again. He makes a diving grab this time, and now he burns Louis Billups, who also had good coverage.
Tremendous athlete. Here's a guy, hey, he's the captain of the football team. His team's down by 4 points. He realizes that he can shoulder some of the responsibility to bring them back. Watch this pattern. Plants, watch the separation he gets on the cut. Louis Billups was in his back pedal. A tremendous extension, comes down, catches the back half of the football, comes down with both knees, not only feet, both knees in bounds. He's the leader.
15 yards on that play. 1st down at the 30. As the Eagles try to answer that Cincinnati touchdown. Here goes Byers left side. Runs into a hole, drags Crumrye with him. And Buck both. Gives you the idea of the power that Keith Byers has. There was nothing there, and he turned it into a 2 or 3 yard game.
That's exactly right. Tim Crumrye is a man in every sense of the word, no question about it. But Keith Byers slams it up in there. Really, there's nothing going on. Jason Buck's got him. Jason Buck tries to wrap him up. He just pulls Jason Buck for an extra 2 or 3 yards. Tim Crumrye finishes it off.
52 yards on the ground for Byers on 13 carries. 2nd and 7 for the Eagles. They're knocking on the door now. Cunningham under pressure, gunning for Quick in the end zone. If he pulls this one down, we'll have a scoop.
Oh, talk about climbing the ladder. He'd have to be about an 8-foot high jumper. Don't put it past him, right, Kevin?
After those last 2 catches, Eddie Edwards was putting the pressure on Randall Cunningham, and Edwards is a story himself because he lost his starting job to Skip McClendon. And the 12-year veteran has been near Cunningham on 2 or 3 occasions today.
Right, Eddie Edwards had 91 consecutive starts at that defensive end position. He's still a valuable commodity to the Bengal defensive line. Eagles have converted 8 out of 14 third down attempts. This is the biggest one of the afternoon, though, right here staring Randall Cunningham in the face.
3rd and 7, 12:04 left in the game. Eagles down 4. He has time. Floats it out for Byers all alone at the 20. Needs a block to get to the end zone. And he did not get there. He's out inside the 1. Chris Carter was down there, his old Ohio State teammate, to help him out.
Great downfield block provided by Chris Carter on that play. And as we said a couple of times this afternoon, Keith Byers is a tremendous talent catching the football. You can split him out in the wing. Here Cunningham just in a shotgun formation. Byers runs a crossing pattern all the way across the linebacker position. Look at number 80, Chris Carter, trying to escort him into the end zone. They take it down to the 1-yard line for Keith Byers, actually the half-yard line. Tremendous execution by the Eagles.
Michael Haddock's number 26 in the backfield. They'll go out of the full house. There is Haddock's in motion. It's Tony for the touchdown. A late call from the official, but he got it in there, and the Eagles regain the lead.
Oh, the mark of a championship team is when you face a little bit of adversity, how do you react? Well, the Bengals took their first lead of the afternoon on James Brooks' second touchdown reception. What did the Eagles do? They undauntedly just march right back down the football field with great mix of run and pass to take the lead once again.
Dorsey on for what he hopes will be the 24th Philadelphia point, and he has it straight through. The Eagles lead is by 3 with 11:52 left in the ball game.
Randall Cunningham starting to put up some numbers. He's now 21 of 29, 230 yards, touchdown and interception. But Tony tapped that touchdown.
Back live at the vet, Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham. The Eagles have just scored. Andrew Toney, this first time in his career that he scored 2 touchdowns in a game. He just got his second one on a 1-yard dive to give the Eagles a 24-21 lead. So the third-year player out of Texas A&M caps the 78-yard drive, and the stars were numerous as the kickoff comes down to Jennings at the 5. Jennings hesitates, gets across the 20 and gets busted backwards, but in that Eagle touchdown drive that answered a Bengal touchdown, you could see the maturing of this team and the great weapons, as Buddy Ryan told us yesterday, that he has. Mike Quick made 2 great catches. Keith Byers did wonders out of the backfield, catching the ball and running the ball. And then, of course, the touchdown comes from Toney.
That's right. He tapped all his resources that he has from skill position perspective in his offense. Great execution. But Boomer Esiason and his crew, no slouches themselves, the way they performed this afternoon. Let's see how they answer.
Boomer's been a one-man show for most of the day, and he goes with Stanley Wilson. Wilson gets across the 25. Byron Evans, number 56, and Wes Hopkins, 48, were there.
You know, really, the Philadelphia Eagles play the run so effectively, teams have to throw the football. He takes the running game, the Eagles take the running game right away from you. And there you see the scoring drive that the Eagles came up with. But it's no wonder that the Eagles are dead last in the league with respect to pass defense, because nobody can run the ball against them. Last week, Tampa Bay had 40 yards rushing. This week, the Bengals have just about the same.
They gave up less than 100 yards a game on the ground in 1987. So when you get that many balls thrown at you, you're going to give up some yards through the air. Esiason, plenty of time, flag down. There's McGee. First time we've heard him in a while, just short of the 40. That'll be a first down unless Eddie Brown was caught doing something he shouldn't have done.
I think the call's going to go against the rookie cornerback, Eric Allen. I think he locked up with Eddie Brown, and I think they might call holding on Eric Allen.
Either way, it'll be a first down. It is against the Eagles. They'll just take the catch, which put the ball up near the 40.
Nice to have that option. Take the better of 2 when you have a first down in each scenario.
Holding, 21 defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
Eddie Brown starts on his pass route. Eric Allen, this is more than 5 yards downfield. That's an illegal chuck. And then watch. Puts the clamp on him once again. The ball's in the air at that particular point. Boomer Esiason looking to his left the whole time, delivers the football. Tim McGee makes nice positive yardage out of it, gets the ball upfield for a first down.
Bengals at their own 39, trailing 24-21. Here comes the blitz. Esiason reads it. That's Holman, and Hopkins drops it. Good open field tackle by Wes Hopkins. As Rodney Holman continues to add to what has been a very good day and a very bad day. He's fumbled 2 after he caught them, both recovered by the Eagles. Then he had a ball go off his hands that was intercepted by the Eagles.
And on that occasion, the Eagles came with both their outside linebackers in that famed 46 defense that Buddy Ryan constructed, and the Bengals had a hot read. Rodney Holman was the hot receiver, executed very well. Boomers now get 330 yards through the air.
And that offensive front of the Bengals has been sensational in keeping the Eagles away from it. 2nd and 5. They'll run it with Wilson to the outside. He cuts it back. Trips and falls. Byron Evans had a hold of him. He's short of the first down, short of midfield, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and short for the Bengals.
I couldn't agree with your statement, Kevin, about the Bengal offensive line. And there's Chris Collinsworth looking on. He's got a pulled adductor muscle, which is an attachment between your groin and your hip, and he hasn't been able to play for almost a month now.
Stanley Wilson shaken up after that run. The Bengals will face 3rd and 1, and they've been successful on 3 of 7 third down situations thus far. Wilson has had a very bruising day running the ball, but he has done well against an Eagle defense that, as we told you, does not yield much running yardage. The Jets have opened their lead over the quarterbackless Browns. Gary Danielson playing today. Houston closing the gap on the Raiders. Minnesota pounding the Patriots. Boy, are they? Same story in Denver and Seattle. And the Rams now have taken the lead over Detroit. Our game, 24-21. Philadelphia leads Cincinnati with 9:41 left in the game.
Stanley Wilson working his way off the field under his own power. I think all he did was when he planted his foot to cut back, just slightly hyperextended his knee. I don't think it was due to any contact. You see at the top of your screen, number 32 with the football right there as he planted to cut upfield. His leg buckled a little bit. Looked like the turf monster came up and grabbed his toe a little bit, and he kind of buckled himself and just hyperextended that knee slightly, but he seems to be fine. And the rookie, Ickey Woods from UNLV, will replace him in the Cincinnati backfield, number 31. Went to the same school that Randall Cunningham, the Eagles quarterback, attended. Well, I don't know if they got the first down or not. There was quite a hit that came on Stanford Jennings. Byron Evans, number 56, really laid it to him, and it depends on where they spot it, and they look like they'll spot it short. Stanford Jennings went airborne, trying to hurdle the line of scrimmage to come up with the first down yardage, and just as he got off his feet, Evans made a tremendous pop. Watch number 36 with the football, goes airborne. Evans says, "No way." Oh man, that's a pop. That's big. That's training reel film right there on how to make a tackle. See if he made it. Oh, by the nose of the football. Well, the Bengals on their own 49 keep the drive alive. Now, once again, though, I'm impressed with the fact that Stanford Jennings did not go down after that collision. Stanley Wilson earlier in the game, same thing, took a tremendous hit, flushed in his face, staggered but didn't go down. Stanford Jennings was airborne, took a tremendous hit, landed on his feet and didn't go down. The balance of backs in the National Football League is mind-boggling.
Woods remains in there. Brooks comes back in to replace Stanford Jennings. Esiason calling a change at the line. In trouble and guns it incomplete. Intended for Woods. Joyner was there, but the rush was coming quickly from both Reggie White and Clyde Simmons.
On that play, when Boomer Esiason audibleized, the rookie fullback, Ickey Woods, lined up incorrectly initially. Boomer Esiason had to turn around, wave him to the right spot in the formation. Here we've got number 92, Reggie White, working against Joe Walters. Pretty good job by Big Joe. Reggie White escapes him late for late pressure, but Joe Walters, number 63, right tackle for the Cincinnati Bengals, playing a fine football game, as is the entire line. It always thrills the quarterback when he has to direct traffic in his own backfield. 2nd and 10 for Esiason. Woods the lone setback behind him. Boomer for McGee. He has him. First down, deep in Eagle territory. Eric Allen back there defending along with Wes Hopkins, but Allen never did turn around, Dave. I think he could have picked it off. I think you're right. What happened, Eric Allen got turned around, got disoriented where he was on the football field with respect to Tim McGee's pattern. The ball whizzed right by his head. Nice play by Boomer Esiason. Looking that way the whole time, steps up. Look at the protection. Nobody obscuring his field of vision. Look at number 21, the rookie, Eric Allen, never really gets his head turned around. The ball sails over his head while he's still trying to find Tim McGee. Just a little disoriented out there. So after Esiason had left McGee alone for quite a while, he's come back to him a couple of times here late in the game. Look at those numbers, 348 yards for Boomer. 3 wide receivers in the game for Cincinnati. As Martin comes in and they run the play to Ickey Woods. Byron Evans, 56, and Todd Bell, number 52, combine on the stop. Todd Bell has not been around the ball much today. Well, the Bengals have done a good job of neutralizing him with Anthony Munoz and Rodney Holming in the blocking game. Jets have tagged another 7 on the Browns, and they're on the verge of blowing the Browns out in front of their own folks. Rest of the scores pretty much remaining the same. Tim McGee's got 108 yards. Kevin, on 3 receptions. He's been the big play guy today.
78 of those came on a touchdown catch in the first quarter. 2nd and 7 for the Bengals. 7 minutes remaining in the ballgame. Esiason under pressure, throws nearly intercepted by Eric Allen. And Boomer got a seat after he threw it.
By that time, Jerome Brown and Reggie White met at the quarterback. And Boomer Esiason, he was sandwiched between a massive humanity on that play.
So 3rd and 7 facing the Bengals, and Eric Allen, as we've mentioned, has made a couple of good plays, got hurt on one play, but all in all, Buddy Ryan's young rookie has vindicated himself very well against one of the most prolific offensive passing games in the league, as Jim Breach looks on, wondering if he'll get a chance to tie it. 6 defensive backs in there for the Eagles. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Brooks on the underneath handoff. He has the first down with some hard running. So the Bengals surprise everybody. A passing team on 3rd and 7, able to run for the first down.
Tremendous call. Just an underneath handoff out of the shotgun formation. Watch it. Direct snap to James Brooks. Boomer Esiason faked like he had the ball. I didn't see that, to be honest with you. Tremendous play. James Brooks did a great job lowering his head for positive yardage. Just a great execution by the center, Bruce Kazerski. Direct snap to James Brooks.
First down at the 19 for the Bengals. They'll always throw a wrinkle at you. Ickey Woods trying to get away from Reggie White, but that won't happen.
You know, Kevin, that prior play, the Houston Oilers executed last season with regularity and with great efficiency. A direct snap in the shotgun formation to the up back, right to the quarterback's left. The Bengals saw that the Oilers had executed that extremely well and adopted it into their game plan. That's the first time they've run it this season, but executed it really, really well.
Reggie White, whom you saw a moment ago, still without a sack today. The guy that Buddy Ryan says is the best defensive lineman he's ever been around. Esiason into the air. The blitz coming. There is Brooks. He outruns Hopkins, but Eric Allen knocks him out at the 7, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Bengals.
James Brooks doing nothing to tarnish that reputation as the all-purpose back, running the ball effectively, and a tremendous catch out of the backfield. Boomer Esiason with a little play action. He's got Big Max Montoya in front of him, delivers the ball. Look at how open Brooks is. Just the great thing about James Brooks, as soon as he catches the ball, he gets his shoulders parallel with the line of scrimmage and gets himself upfield, north and south, positive yardage.
1st and goal, Cincinnati. They trail by 3 with 6:17 remaining. This is where you miss the good running game. They'll try Brooks. Hemmed in by Andre Waters, who did a nice job, number 20, to fight off the block and then get in there involved in the tackle and hold Brooks to a 2-yard gain. Maybe 3 if they spot it at the 4, which is where they'll put it down.
This was a problem area for the Cincinnati Bengals last season. They were 5th in the National Football League in total yards gained, but only 20th in points scored. And it was because once they get in the red zone, which is the 20-yard line in, they stalled. Let's see if they can overcome that problem on this particular drive.
2nd and goal. Ickey Woods stumbles his way to about the 2. Mike Golick, number 90, the 3rd-year man out of Notre Dame, in there to make the tackle. Bruce Reimers threw a lead block for Ickey Woods, but it didn't help out.
Here come the big people. Dave Smith, an offensive tackle. Brian Blados, an offensive tackle, work their way in. This is to emphasize what we were talking about. Total offense, Bengals 5th in yards accumulated, only 20th in points scored, stalled inside the 20. The flip side, the Bengals only gave up. They were 8th in the league in yards permitted, but then 24th in points scored against them, allowing too many big plays. So they had problems scoring, but then gave up too many big plays.
The Eagles have called a timeout. Buddy Ryan wanting to make sure that his defensive unit knows what it's going to do. Wade Phillips, their defensive coordinator, although you get the feeling Buddy Ryan will stick his head in the defensive huddle when there's a decision to be made. 3-point lead, 5:06 left. We'll be back to the vet after this. Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator with the beard there for the Eagles, but I get the feeling Buddy Ryan makes the defensive call. And one thing they're looking out for here is the tackle-eligible pass to Anthony Munoz, the big tackle. He's been known to pull it down.
He's got 4 touchdown receptions in his career.
3rd and goal from the 3. Eagles lead by 3, trying to hold on. From the behind, there's a pass. Touchdown to McGee! Esiason drilled from behind as the pressure came from Seth Joyner, but Tim McGee hauls in his 2nd touchdown catch of the day, and Esiason, Dave, has thrown 7 touchdown passes in 2 games.
Unbelievable gut check right there for number 7, quarterback Boomer Esiason. Rolls to his left, blindside shot. Seth Joyner hits him right in the chops. Look at the tap by Tim McGee on the back line of the end zone. Tremendous play. Watch 59. Linebacker Seth Joyner, boom, hits Boomer right in the face, knocks him down. He hits his head on the ground, the AstroTurf, after the collision, but he really executes the play. Tim McGee, tremendous effort.
Big point after would give them a 4-point lead. And they have it. So the Bengals, with 5:02 left, have answered the Philadelphia score with one of their own, and now they lead 28-24. A very offensive-filled 4th quarter of play here at the Vet. Bengals with 2 touchdowns here in the 4th quarter, and they take a 4-point lead. We'll return for more in a moment. We are going to stay with the action as the Bengals take the lead. Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham. Glad you could join us. We expected a great football game from these 2 offensive-minded teams, and that's what we've gotten today.
Unbelievable offensive effort, and Boomer's got 4 touchdown passes now, 2 to James Brooks and 2 to Tim McGee with only 1 interception. Boomer came into the game leading the NFL with quarterback rating 122.4. Right now he's 20 of 32, 363 yards, 4 touchdown passes, 1 interception, which really wasn't his fault, doing nothing to really hurt that quarterback rating. He's just rolling up some serious numbers, and it's one thing to do it against the Cardinals. Now he's doing it against the Philadelphia Eagles, who we said at the top of the telecast is considered around the league to be a playoff caliber defense.
And again, the work of his offensive line, and I'm sure he'd be the first to tell you, has been the pivotal point, I think, today for that Bengal offense. He's been sacked twice, but on the other occasions really hasn't been bothered, hasn't been pressured all that much. And Reggie White, the prime pass rusher in the league, has been nowhere near him all day long.
That's right. Take your hat off to Joe Walter and everybody else for containing Reggie White. Just a tremendous effort in the offensive side of the football.
Breach will be kicking off. Konechny and Beals are deep. This is Konechny at his 10. He sneaks through to the 26-yard line where he comes down, and that's where the Eagles, with plenty of time, 4:54 remaining, will put it in play after that 15-yard return. Barney Bussey made the tackle, number 27 for the Bengals. So now it's up to Randall Cunningham, who told us yesterday that he feels like he's really matured. Some of his teammates were telling us they really felt as though he became a leader last year when he led come-from-behind back-to-back wins over St. Louis and Washington. So he's going to have a chance to come from behind today. First down from his own 26. They'll run it with Tony, and he's drilled and dropped immediately. Carl Zander is there, number 91, but so was Tim Crumry, number 69.
Randall Cunningham's numbers aren't chopped liver either, Kevin. He's got 21 completions on 29 attempts, 230 yards, 1 touchdown, and an interception. Those are good numbers also. And this is where a mobile quarterback, did you notice on the touchdown pass to Tim McGee, the fact that Boomer Esiason was able to roll to his left, avoided the pressure. Randall Cunningham provides the same option here.
2nd and 8 after a 2-yard pickup. Fakes the draw. Cunningham flips it out to Tony. Nice catch, nice move, but Wilcox just won't let go. Solomon Wilcox, number 41, the second-year player out of Colorado. He's done a good job today. Has an interception that spoiled a Philadelphia touchdown drive on a 1st and goal at the Bengals 7. That may turn out, Dave, to be the key play of the game.
Very definitely could be. And it'll be interesting to see what tactic the Bengal defense employs here. Will they have a spy? Will they have somebody just watching Randall Cunningham wherever he goes in the field? Will there be somebody tracking his every move? Or will they just come with severe pressure?
3rd and 3. Out of the shotgun, here comes the pressure, and the catch is made by Carter. Has the first down and retreats and nearly lost it. Jim Scow, number 70, came back to make the tackle, but the veteran receivers will know not to retreat once you have the first down on a third down play.
Randall Cunningham looking to his right the whole time, delivers the football on time to Chris Carter. What he does, as Kevin mentioned, goes in reverse, and Jim Scow puts a good hit on him, who, by the way, Jim Scow had dropped off from his defensive end position into a linebacker drop. He was involved in the pass coverage on that play, an unusual tactic. They blitzed the linebacker, and Jim Scow, the defensive end, dropped off in pass coverage.
First down, Eagles, their own 37. Cunningham, he'll run it himself. Look at the speed as he darts through the hole and gets up near the 46-yard line and picks up 8 more yards before Skip McClendon, number 72, brought him down with a thud, and Cunningham, as everyone in the stadium holds their breath, remains down.
Averaging 9 yards a pop here, 72 yards on 8 carries. He's grabbing that right knee a little bit. I think it was just a situation when he went to the turf. He hit his knee hard on the artificial turf. I don't think it was due to any particular contact. Randall Cunningham fakes, little play action situation, decides immediately with the gaping hole to run. Right there, I think, when he goes down to the turf, he hits his right knee fairly hard on the artificial turf, and I think that's where the injury occurred.
Don't forget tonight, come home to the best in family comedy, starting with Rags to Riches. Then it's Family Ties, followed by My Two Dads. After that, stay tuned for the NBC Sunday night movie, Shooter. Tonight only on NBC. Kevin Slayton and Dave Lapham here at Veterans Stadium. Matt Cavanaugh quickly up and loosening his throwing arm in front of the Eagle bench. That would be a terrible blow to this young team if Cunningham were not allowed to finish.
Cunningham goes to the turf. It looks like right there is where, when he hit the ground, he rolled his legs over each other, entangled his legs. I think that's where he sustained any injury that may have transpired there. And there's Matt Cavanaugh, of course, trying to get loose as quickly as he possibly can if Randall Cunningham can't continue.
And he's not a babe in arms, 11-year veteran out of Pitt. Cunningham's going to be all right, it appears, but he's heading for the sidelines, which would mean Cavanaugh for at least one snap. It'll be 2nd and 1, so if you're going to send in another quarterback, that's not a bad time to send him in.
Most definitely. It's a lot easier situation than if you're looking at 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10 on such a critical drive.
Myers and Tony in the backfield, and you can nearly bet they'll get it, one of them. It's Tony, first down and then some into Bengal territory, down to the 47-yard line. Wilcox and Fulcher out of the secondary to combine on the stop, and now Cunningham's going to come back in, and you'll hear the roar of the crowd when he does.
And there's the roar of the crowd as Cunningham does return, but Matt Darwin, the left tackle, threw the big block on that play. He allowed Tony to cut back against the grain, gave him about another 6 yards on the carry. Tony's now got 49 and 15 carries.
Momentum playing a big part in this game for both of these teams to go on afterwards. Here goes Tony, left side, big hole again. Can't break that tackle, though, as he gets close to the 45-yard line. Solomon Wilcox, number 41 again, coming up to make the tackle. I was going to say, if the Eagles could come from behind a win, of course, a young team gets just one game older and great experience. The Bengals, on the other hand, 2 big goal line stands last week, gave them confidence, Dave, and now if they could do it again defensively, it would really give them a shot in the arm.
Right, and a big plus is they need a touchdown. Field goal doesn't really do you much good. You need a touchdown.
2-minute warning. We'll come back to sold-out Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia for the last 2 minutes. Back live, Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Kevin Slayton along with Dave Lapham. The Bengals lead the Eagles by 4. Each team with 2 timeouts apiece left. Exactly 2 minutes remaining. Sam White of the Bengals nervously pondering his defensive fortunes. He saw his team come through big last week against Phoenix when they held the Cardinals 1st and goal late in the game.
And I bet his defensive huddle right now has to be thinking Mike Quick. This is a situation where you go to somebody who's been there before, and Mike Quick most definitely has, the captain of the team. A couple of big catches, as we mentioned earlier in the prior drive, when they answered a Bengal touchdown. Mike Quick may be a factor in this one.
2nd and 7 for the Eagles from the Bengal 45. Cunningham will go out of the shotgun. Quick is to the bottom of your screen, number 82. Heavy pressure. There goes Cunningham. Great cut for the first down inside the 35. Solomon Wilcox, number 41, kept him from getting more, but that's the big play capability of the fourth-year pro out of UNLV.
Solomon Wilcox, the free safety, was the spy man. He had no coverage responsibility. As soon as Randall Cunningham broke from the line of scrimmage, he was there like an extra linebacker. He was the chaser after the pressure line.
Hurry-up offense for the Eagles. Cunningham on first down. Down the middle of Jackson, wide open. Wilcox hangs on for dear life as Jackson gets inside the 20.
Just a great example of what the Eagles can do to you. Randall Cunningham runs the football. The Bengals start to worry about that. The middle becomes a little bit softer, and he exploits it with Keith Jackson.
9 catches for the rookie from Oklahoma. 1 minute left as the clock continues to run. Oh, the Eagles appear to move, and now Cunningham has to call timeout. The flag did drop on the far side. Now let's see if he called timeout before the flag.
I think he called it after the flag, and the flag will supersede the timeout.
We'll return to the vet and explain what happened in a moment. Back live, 52 seconds left just before the break. We told you we'd explain it to you, and we will. The timeout came before the flag, so there's no flag. Eagles have 1 timeout left. Sam White and the Bengals, Buddy Ryan and the Eagles. This is what the NFL is all about, as their teams have exchanged touchdowns today, 28-24. The Eagles trail. They're at the Bengal 20 for the first down. The crowd rises to its feet. Byers and Tony in the backfield with Cunningham, who go out of the shotgun. They have Jackson split in the slot to the bottom of your screen. He's been their big guy on the passing game. Into the end zone for Quick. Touchdown! No, he was out of bounds.
Did not get both feet down. Out of bounds coverage provided by Eric Thomas, second-year cornerback for the Cincinnati Bengals. Perfect throw by Randall Cunningham. Mike Quick comes ball. The ball he never had possession.
Thomas able to either strip him or Quick just dropping it, one of the two. But look from here, of course, it is back to us that he had it all the way. That's a big, big play. 48 seconds left, 2nd and 10. Does it again. Quick up over the defenseman's back, Thomas, and can't bring it down. That time, Dave, the throw wasn't as good.
No, it wasn't. And I think Mike Quick's upset with himself that he didn't catch the first one. On this play, the crowd's yelling for interference, but Eric Thomas has a right to make the play on the football. Turns his head, gets his hand back to make the play, and that's termed incidental contact. Now Mike Quick reaching over the top. They've liberalized the pass interference rule. As long as the defensive back is trying to make a play on the football and has his head turned back to the quarterback, that's no interference.
Kind of catches we've seen Quick make today. I thought he might have pulled that one in. Fulcher screaming for a timeout on the far side and got it called just in time. Nobody had lined up to cover Quick.
Timeout.
How do you forget that, man? That's like when the Eagles forgot about James Brooks on the other touchdown pass.
Fulcher noticed it. That's a heads-up play that you won't see in the box score by David Fulcher, the third-year player out of Arizona State.
Exactly right, and he's the veteran now. As you mentioned, third-year player. He's the oldest member of the secondary right now. Lewis Billups is a 3-year player, very young back there. Ricky Dixon, of course, the newest Bengal, just under contract for a week. He's been in some nickel coverages this afternoon, extremely young, but the coaches are high in that secondary, have a lot of speed back there and a lot of raw athletic ability. They'll be tested now, though. This is crunch time right here.
The entire defensive unit huddling on the sidelines on 3rd and 10 with 44 seconds left. So, in effect, 2 more chances for Randall Cunningham, each team down to their last timeout now. He's tried to hit Quick on 2 lobs to the corner of the end zone. I can't believe nobody lined up to cover Quick. Fulcher was dancing over there when he spotted it. He was jumping and screaming. Now they've got Eric Thomas on it. Here comes the rush. There's Jackson. He's in bounds. Does he have the first down? Ricky Dixon, number 29, was over there to make the tackle.
ex-teammates on that play, both out of Oklahoma University. And Dixon made a heads-up play by keeping Jackson in bounds, making the Eagles burn their final timeout.
4th down. He was short of the first down on the 10th catch of the day for Keith Jackson. So 2 Oklahoma teammates combine on one play here for opposite teams.
Look at Randall Cunningham throwing off his back foot. Jackson makes a great catch. Boy, Dixon put a big hit. That's hard to bring down a 250-pound Brahma bull. And Dixon just dropped him immediately, keeping him in bounds, as we said, making the Eagles burn their final timeout. Plus the fact that they've got 2 yards to generate for another first down.
Jackson says, hey, at Oklahoma when we ran plays in practice, he never tackled me like that. Barry Switzer has to be proud of his 2 first-round draft picks, making it big here in the NFL. So they're at the Bengal 11. They have to score a touchdown, trailing by 4. Sam White's nervously. This is what coaches get paid for.
Exactly. Deja vu for the Bengals. Same scenario last weekend against the Cardinals.
Tony, the lone setback. Not out of the shotgun on 4th and 2. The rollout. Here comes Edwards chasing Cunningham into the end zone. Too high. Looking for Carter. And Dave, it appeared that Cunningham had the first down if he would have run with it.
I think you're right. I think if Randall Cunningham had decided to tuck the ball under his arm, they would have had another couple of 3 opportunities to get the football into the end zone, because there still are 26 seconds on the clock. I'm not sure that was the greatest decision that Randall Cunningham made. But look at Chris Carter. He's on the back line of the end zone. Cunningham just good break to the football by Solomon Wilcox, but Randall Cunningham could not resist that temptation. Chris Carter was back there waving, hey, get me the football, and we win this football game. Randall Cunningham was high on his delivery once again.
I want to take this chance to thank our spotters, Bill Friel and Mike McKay, and our statistician, Rich Eisman, for all the good work they've done helping us up here in the booth today. So the Bengals, with a big road victory as they kill the clock, will move to 2-0. And the Eagles, a learning process continuing as they fall to 1-1.
This is a big win for the Cincinnati Bengals. They realized that the Philadelphia Eagles, or they felt the Eagles are a playoff caliber team, and for them to win on the Eagles' home opener in their domain is a big, big win. Look at Boomer Esiason, Dave Remington, best of friends when they were Bengal teammates, exchanging pleasantries at the end of the football game.
Our Budweiser MVP, time for the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser, and today's MVP, Boomer Esiason from the Cincinnati Bengals. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected in today's games. 4-point victory for the Bengals over the Eagles at the Vet.